Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day and welcome to another King of the Hill Total War Warhammer live stream. It's been pretty damn exciting. I think this is the number 3 we've done. I'm pretty sure we're on 3 now. The last 2 being very successful, so we're going to carry on that on today and just have a bit of fun. Previous king, of course, was Triari with 5 wins back to back, which is incredibly impressive. I believe Noob for Life also did a similar amount of wins as well, but did get dethroned, unfortunately for him. So, rules of King of the Hill, super simple. Winner stays on, best of 1 matchups. We are using the attacking rule from the Warhammer Cup rules, and the king does pick and ban. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the old king back. So we're going to have 2 new competitors today. So we do have the mighty Papa Palpatine, and we're just waiting on Ninja, who did say he might be running 5 minutes late. But we're giving him those 5 minutes. If not, we'll just move him down the order and get someone else in. So the order as it currently stands is Ninja up against Papa Palpatine. We then hopefully have a move Hacker coming in. He's not quite sure if he's going to be able to make it, so he may be moved down the list a little bit as well. We have the mighty Park Map, Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and then hopefully the legendary Croissant Talbot as well will also make an appearance. I believe it all just does depend on time. Now, if you want to get involved in this, feel free to shoot a message in the chat, and I'll happily try and get you in there. Yo, what's up, Console? How's it going, dude? If you want to take part in this, man, let me know and I can add you to the list, bro. Just going to check Discord, make sure I've got no questions. Cool. So if you do have any questions, feel free to shoot away. We're just going to wait 5 minutes for Ninja. If he doesn't turn up, we will offer the spot. Probably up to Park Map, because I don't think A-Move's quite ready yet. So Park Map, if you're in the chat, get ready, my dude. You hope A-Move doesn't make it. He is a very, very scary opponent, I must admit. I believe he actually qualified for the ECL in first attempt as well, which is really quite nice. Let's just make sure the stream's firing all cylinders. Yeah, it looks like it is all good. Cool. So we're literally just waiting on Ninja. See if he's come online yet. Not quite yet. I'll drop him a quick message and see how close he's going to be. Where's my private messages? There we go. Cool, show a message, we'll see if he replies, and then we'll get one of the other boys in if he can't quite make it. Ronin, what's up, dude? Excited to have you on the channel. Yeah, sure, Console. I'll put you down as a maybe. Just shoot me a message when you are back. Unfortunately, I can only... I was just going to write your name down on the whiteboard. I can only host today for 2 hours. The last one went on for about 3 hours and 40 minutes, which was pretty damn crazy. But I do have work tomorrow early morning, and I can't risk really being tired because it's kind of a new job. I'm just getting moved around. I was doing night shifts, and now I've been moved to day shifts. So I need to make sure I get that nice beauty sleep and get focused for tomorrow. But Papa Palpatine there, bit of a mouthful, is making his debut on the channel. I believe he has done quite a lot of the circuits in Noobhammer and played quite a lot on there, so it should be good to see him about. Also, we have Ronin making a debut on the channel. I think the rest of the guys have played before. A-Move hasn't played for a while. He's, I think, one of our former champions of Death Before Dishonor. He at least got to the final up against Worsha, but he might have been taken out by the man himself. So, yes. Alright, let's have a little quick look, see if Ninja has popped back. Don't think else. So, Park Map, if you were in the chat, feel free to hop into the lobby. I'll send him a message now as well. If not, we can always just move whoever it is to round 1. It's a pretty chilled out session, to be honest. The idea is obviously to get on the biggest win streak possible and, you know, hold on to your crown and lift it high above your head. But at the same time, it's all nice and fun and friendly. So happy for new players to hop in, happy for old players as well. So what we like to see. What's up, Scourge of the West, dude? How's it going? Hope you're all good. Scourge of the West, I believe, did play last time. Hey, and Park Map is in the chat. So Park Map, if you want to feel free to hop in, just hop in, dude. And Scourge of the West, man, if you want to be added to the list, I can add you down as well. We've already got quite a few players, and we do have a 2-hour time limit today, but we can try and get you in as well. It looks like Park Map is on his way. Sick. See if I've got him on friends list. Looks like he's not on online mode just about yet. Yeah, it looks like he's seen the message on Discord as well, so we'll get cracking, which would be all good. Just see what he's saying. I can't see the lobby. I'm pretty sure I have Pop Map as a friend. Cool. So it might just be in hidden mode at the moment. There we go. Part map is now online. So we refresh this. There it is. Cool. Send him an invite, and the password is 123. So it should be good fun. So we are moving up slightly. We'll wait for A Move to get in contact with us before we slot him in, as I think he said he was going to be... I can't remember the exact wording of it, but I think he was busy, but he was going to try and make it in. So we'll see if he's up afterwards, and then we're going to pop in to Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and hopefully Consul of Rome and Croissant, which is... They've got a bit of a legendary rivalry, I believe. Those two have played quite a lot against each other in my Death Before Dishonor tournament, so it'd be good if we can get those two guys facing off against each other, and also hopefully get Ninja back in as well when he has returned. Oh, let's see if there's any questions. I'm on now, no response from host. I'll rehost. Cool, just let Papa Palpatine... Oh, I'm going to have to get used to saying that. Papa Palpatine, let him know. I'm just going to rehost as Park Map. It seems like it looks like it's bugging out a little bit, which unfortunately a lot of the multiplayer does do right now. So I'm going to back out and rehost. So, part map pop in, and then hopefully Papa Palpatine will just be able to find the lobby. If not, we can always add him as a friend. But yeah, I've been really enjoying these streams lately. We had an awesome one. Hey, looks like the Papa is returned. We had a really awesome one the other day where we had ODM fight against each other in a big old civil war, which was super fun. Hey, it looks like we have both the guys in, so we'll get them sorted. Unfortunately, I'm still not at home, so I'll just watch now. No worries, Scourge Runner. Oh, Scourge Runner. Sorry, Scourge the West. I keep calling you Scourge Runner because of those goddamn chariots. But good to see you here, dude. Yo. Cool. So the way we're doing this is... Oh, did that send? I think these guys already know, but basically it's a gentleman's agreement for this first round. And then from then on, the king always picks first and bans one faction as well as we go on. Because I think it's a slight disadvantage having to pick and ban. Yes, you get to choose factions you like, but at the same time, people can counterpick you quite heavily. And with only the one ban, I think it's a bit of a disadvantage to the king. And that's the point. You're meant to be fighting to hold on to the crown from all these deadly usurpers. Cool, let those guys decide the matchup, and we are going to be playing on Troll Country, is where we start most of the maps, most of my tournaments and events, because it's quite small, quite close quarters, and gets things cracking quite quickly. So should be some good fun. Yes, yes. That's fun enough that I actually hate Scourge Runners. Man, I was discussing this with someone, I think it was in the chat of the ECL yesterday on Turin's channel. I think they're very powerful, and I do think they need a slight nerf, but I think people are freaking out a little bit about claiming they're like the most OP thing in the universe, when in reality they're very good. You do have some huge options of shutting them down, and at the end of the day they can only fire so many shots, and they don't have the most ammo. But I do agree they need to be nerfed. But I don't think they're quite as bad as a lot of people make out. Hey Luca, how's it going, dude? The returning king. Hope you're well, dude. Unfortunately, you can make it for this one, man, to try and retain your crown. We're going to see who the new king is. Is it going to be Papa Palpatine, Park Map? Or perhaps a new face? We can have A Move Hacker, Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, Ninja, Croissant, Consul. There is a ton of people it could be. Looks like we're going for a Norscan versus Beastman matchup. Which... I quite like this for the Norscans. You're equally good at swarming. Maybe not quite as good, but you're very good at swarming anyway. And you have some nice, cheap and cheerful chaff in the Marauders, which are pretty decent up against a lot of the Beastmen infantry. And at the same time, you have so many goddamn tools for taking down big monsters. You have Javelins, Skinwolves are incredibly good because they fast, they regenerate, and have that bonus versus large. So... And also you can bring the big monsters as well, which Beastmen tend to struggle with. So I like this matchup for Norska, but we'll see how these guys play it. You never know. I'm often surprised when people bring different matchups and what they do. So welcome, welcome. If this is anyone's first time to my channel, hope you are also doing quite good. I do multiplayer videos, tournaments, King of the Hills, campaigns, other random Total War rated videos. Oh, looks like part map dropped out. No. Send him another invite. And hopefully get this started. Sorry about the little bit of a slow start. It does obviously happen in live streaming quite a bit, unfortunately. Just because, unfortunately, Total War's a little bit buggy. Looks like park map is back in. They did like loads of changes over Christmas and stuff, and most of the multiplayer stuff went down. You couldn't host certain games in the beta mode, as like I'm doing now, where you're just a viewer, so you're like spectator mode, and different bits like that. Unfortunately, it looks like Palm Map's a little bit stuck there. Glitch hasn't fully popped up. Hopefully the lobby hasn't bugged out and I'll have to rehost again. Which is frustrating. Once it gets started, it should hopefully work. Let's see. Make sure he's not sent me a message. I'll ask if it's bugged again. Send an invite just in case. Boop. And we'll see what happens. Yes, hope everyone is doing all good. Who is your money on in this matchup? I should actually, while I'm here, I can change the thing. Might be my internet. Okay, part map's having internet problems, but I'll say no worries, try again. And we're giving a bit of time to try and sort it out as we change this around. So we're just going to make it Papa and park map. Cool, looks like Ninja is ready as well. And we'll see if we can get park map back in. Okay. Part map says he needs someone else, that's fine. Okay, part map is going to reset his Wi-Fi, so in the meantime, we're going to go do the original matchup of Ninja versus Papa Palpatine. Cool. Send Ninja an invite, and we're good going. That's right, Part Map. He sent me a message saying, like, really sorry about it was fine earlier, it's decided to die. That is fine, I understand. These things happen all the time in live streaming. Happens a lot of Total War and CA games in general, with Wi-Fi going down and whatnot. A Ninja and a Ronin in the same tournament. The world is changing. Well, they can still be foes, rather than allies. It should be quite good to see you guys hopefully face off. Cool. He's asking if I can send the invite again. And there we go. Make sure there's no questions from Papa Palpatine. Now he's happy to face all comers by the looks of it. And hopefully he will be loading in. So once again, sorry for the slow start, especially because I only have 2 hours. So we have missed the first 15 minutes, but at the same time, we've had drama, we've had discussion. It's all good. Hopefully it's not the lobby that's bugged. Cool. Just sending messages to people, making sure everything is all good. Well, Palpatine's still here, so no worries sure why the others are struggling to connect so bad. Don't forget the Emperor. The mighty Emperor has been resurrected once more to face opponents. At the moment, he seems to be deleting them as they are trying to load in. another one. Try not to spam him, but at the same time he's sending messages trying to find the lobby, I believe. So hopefully he'll be here in a second. So the last stream did go on for about 3 hours and 40 minutes, which was pretty crazy. We had like 10 or 11 games going, but this time it's going to be a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise, but we've got some very good players popping in, some new players, some old faces as well, so it should be good fun. Sent him several invites and he's not joining. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to restart the lobby, which is super frustrating. To the war while you do this. Hey, he's in. Yay! I'm loving Palpatine's Obi-Wan Kenobi hello there's as well. It's very cool indeed. A double rock of war. That is my name, Tehenowin. How's it going? Tehenowin, you want to take the throne, do you? Well, you have a bit of a list in front of you, unfortunately. But I can add you in, and we will try and get you in, bro. Just going to write your name down. So, we currently have Ninja versus Papa Palpatine, then possibly a move hacker, depending if he can make it or not, Park Map if his internet changes, and then Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and then you, Tehenowin the Mighty. And maybe cross on Talbot and Consular Rome, if those guys can make it, they're unsure at the moment. But yeah, we've got a 2-hour limit, so we are only streaming until 9, so we have an hour and 45 to get through as many games as possible, so we'll try and be nice and quick, and that way we can try and have you claim your crown. Yes, Luca did become the Phoenix King. He's a little tiny bit of a high elf fan, and he did win the last stream with 5 consecutive wins. Cool, just let Ninja know it is a gentleman's agreement. Yo, yo! David the White Lizard, how's it going, dude? Hope you're a good man, nice to see you. We've got a bit of a delayed start, so we're just getting started now. So just looking through the messages. And yeah, standard King of the Hill, best of 1 matchup. The rules in play are the attacking rules from the Warhammer Cup rules, to make sure we have no boring games or kite drawing, any of that type of stuff. And then Unicaps, now I remembered, boop, are going to be popped on as well. Cool, looks like Papa Palpatine is going Beastman. I've seen Par Map has popped back onto a wall, so we can try and get him in afterwards as well. Maybe B move or C move. Hey, I'll drop a message after this and see if he can make it. Cool, looks like we may have a Beastman High Elf matchup. Ninja just asking if that's so good. I'm sure it will be. This is a matchup that I quite like for the Beastmen, just because you can swarm so much, but you still have the big dragons to contest the very annoying and painful Cav as well, so it can go either way. But using hounds and whatnot to get into the back line, shut down Sister Avalon, then you come in with your own big monsters, kind of go for a big monster match fight. Can work very effectively, but of course depends on the micro of your opponent. And yeah. Make sure we have no questions on Discord, no one else hopping in the queue. Looks like we're all good. Oh no, do have one message. Cool. I'll be ready. Sweet. Looks like a move is going to be ready. So he'll be coming in after this, then we'll try and get in Park Map, Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and Tehenowin if possible. It should be good, but unfortunately we do have the limit today, which I really can't go over because I do have work very early. What's up, Monochrome? How's it going? Don't worry, man. We've had a very delayed start, unfortunately. I was waiting for people to turn up, and unfortunately some internet issues as well with Park Map. His internet's normally really good because we've played lots of times before on the channel. Cool, so it looks like we are going for a Beastman High Elves. We're going to try and rattle through as many as possible, so I'm going to have to now start paying like a a 5-minute kind of timer in between games of actually getting people in and out and stuff. Otherwise, we're going to have to move them down the queue just to try and get through as many people as possible. Which, as the list stands, we do have Ninja, Papa Palpatine, A-Move Hacker, Park Map, Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and Tehenwin. Should be some good fun. But nice to see you hopping in the chat, Monochrome. What's up, Roberto? I have no idea what you just said, but welcome. Hope you're doing all good. These guys just sorting out the matchup. Troll Country, super fun map, super small, super violent. Real blood and thunder affair normally kicks off quite quickly. I haven't seen Papa Palpatine play before, but I know he's very active on Noobhammer, and it sounds like him and Ninja have played some games before, so maybe a past feud, or two former brothers, unfortunately going to war against each other, which is quite sad. But we'll see who comes out of top in this first game in the King of the Hill. And then we have the mighty A-Move Hacker coming in to try and claim their spot. So let's make sure Discord's all good. Yup. I'm just waiting on these guys. There's no rush though. Like, we are trying to get through as many games as possible, but it is a friendly tournament overall. So, nothing to stress about. How would I play this if I was these guys? Think going fairly cav heavy can work really effectively here for the high elves. Just to batter the crap out of the cheap and cheerful beastmen front line, and then try and go toe-to-toe with the big monsters, maybe with some magic support. Maybe a Star Dragon. I'd quite like a Star Dragon in this matchup. You could be a little wary of throwing axes and getting pinned in by Chaos Spawn or Minotaurs and whatnot, but if you have enough archery play, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Beastmen, arguably the best Swarming faction in the game. I'd say it's between them and Norska. Greenskins are very good as well. Looks like Papa Palpatine is ready. Quick and violent, that's what she said, damn right. Wi-Fi is getting better. Sweet part, Matt. Yo, Michael, how's it going? Good to see you again, bro. We'll have some sacrifices for the Chaos Gods, indeed. Hopefully we'll have some pointy-eared sacrifices here. And we'll get going. So, your Wi-Fi's getting better, Palm Map, sweet. So, we're going to move A-Move into the next game, because he actually was ahead of you in the list anyway. We just weren't sure if he was going to make it. And then you'll be up afterwards, so hopefully your internet will be fine by then. And then we get Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, Tehenwin. Which is good. We are going to have to do some very speedy switchovers and stuff, so just be ready and prepared to have the game loaded up. So when it is your go, you're ready to go quickly. Which is all good. So I really want to try and get through as many people as possible. Just check all my chats, make sure there's no questions from Ninja anywhere. Nope, looks like he's just assigned his army and he's good to go. And yeah. Who is your money on? I don't know if you guys seen these guys play before, or if you've played them before. I've played Ninja quite a few times, done a lot of best of threes against them, best of fives, single games dotted around here and there. He's still fairly new to the competitive side of the game, but has a lot of experience in basic multiplayer games, which is nice. And then Papa Palpatine, as I said before, haven't seen him play, but I know he's very active in Noobhammer, so I'm sure he's got a decent amount of experience behind him. I think maybe he's played or tried out in some of the ECL games as well. I've done quite a lot recently. Actually had really good games against a guy called Enticity, I believe his name was. Lost to him 2 ECLs ago, got 2-0'd. And when was it? Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Whenever the last ECL was, the midweek one, managed to beat him in round 1, and then I went out in the next round. He's a very good Dwarf and Pirates player, Vampire Coast. Real defensive builds. Tried to throw me off. I thought he might do a little bit of mind games and go for more close combat Vampires build this time. But just managed to just about drag it through using Beastmen myself. So interesting to see how Palpatine uses them here. And I believe the next game I was High Elves against Dwarves, which I think highly favours the High Elves. So let's have a little look at Papa Palpatine's army and get started. So his main core is Goreherds by looks of it, with shields, including the Blackhorn Ravengers mixed in there as well. Cheap well, fairly cheap and cheerful. We could have gone cheaper, but they'll do the job and chew through Spearmen, Lothran Seaguard, and the like very, very quickly. Looks like we have quite a fast-moving army here. We also have a couple of units of the basic Centaurs mixed in with some Chaos Warhounds with poison. We have 2 of the piggies. We have Razor Gore herds here that give that quite cheap armor piercing. I actually quite like these guys as a unit, but they can rampage. You have to be a little bit careful. We have a couple of units of harpies. Again, I really like. They actually do a decent amount of damage now. Really good at shutting down ranged opposition. And we also have some Razor Gore chariots. I haven't seen these guys used much at all, so pretty interesting choice here. I've seen them on Lords a lot recently, but not just as the unit, but decent armor piercing. Requires quite a bit of micro, but if you can get it right, they'll do a decent job. Yes, we have the Butchers of Kalkengard, which remind me so much of The Witcher at the moment because of his nickname. These guys are awesome, regenerating Minotaurs. They have shield as well, so a little bit more durable, and they pack an absolute punch, of course, causing terror and all that good stuff. Now for leadership, we do have a Brave Shaman of Shadows here, bringing, is that Enfeebling Foe and Pendulum? Do you have Pendulum, Feeble Info, and Melkov's Mystifying Miasma, so not going for the Manticore summon with the Beast Magic, which I tend to go for, but still, nice little kit there. We also have Morga, the Shadow Gave, of course, with his summons and all his good stuff. Really nice army, I quite like this, and he's going for a very awesome Vanguard build. So let's have a little look at Ninja's army, and of course Ninja has gone for a Star Dragon. He absolutely loves the big dragons in this type of situation, so he does a Star Dragon up in the sky, and apart from that, fairly defensive position here. We have 3 units of Lothran Seaguard with shields. Be trading fire fairly effectively. We have 3 units of Spearmen as well, just to slow down the enemy. They will get mauled down by Gore herds, but they will hold the line for a reasonable amount of time. Now in the woods, we also have a unit of Swordmasters of Hoeth here. Quite an interesting pick. They'll be able to tear through most of the infantry fairly effectively, but you'd think they'd get overrun. But at the same time, they could do a decent job against Bestigors and the like. With a Handmaiden of the Everqueen, who I assume is going to be supporting all these Lothran Seaguard. We also have Alariel the Radiant. And is that it? We also have the Fireborn as well. So Regiment Dragon Princes really like this pick here. They're going to be very good at tearing down all the things that have regeneration. If these guys get on top of those Minotaurs, they will destroy them very, very quickly. So early fire going off. Not sure what the Handmaiden is. I suppose she's hiding in the trees. It kind of makes sense. I'd have her here assisting with her buffs on the Lothran Seaguard. They are going to start unleashing some shots into the Razor Gore herds. Star Dragon just lurking at the moment, trying to get on top of this flank. So we have Hounds, plus Centaurs, plus Harpies, and of course the Hounds are poisoning these Fireborn, going for a little bit of an alpha strike here, but a big nasty dragon is coming over. These guys need to scoot their boot and escape. At the same time, Beastmen are starting to overwhelm this high front line, instantly get on top of these Lothran Seaguard. The Spearmen really need to be in front, protect those guys and allow them to fire as much value as they can. Yes, they do have spears, but you don't want them in the front line fighting realistically. You want them using up their ammo. But it looks like he was trying to pull them back and move his spearmen forward as he is now. Big Pendulum coming in, which is such a nice ability against the High Elves and their tightly packed formation. And these Razor Gores to really run over these spearmen. And there's a lot of fighting going on in the trees. We have Centaurs and Razor Gores all punching on Alariel, trying to take it down on the Swordmasters, but these guys do not want to fight in the trees, so better to escape there and just hammer this centre pocket as he's doing now, get all these troops off the battlefield, and then try and isolate these much more powerful individual targets. Fireborn incredibly beat up right now. They do have the healing of Alariel, of course. They've managed to beat off some Razor Gore herds and Centaurs. Might be worth chasing those guys off the field and then bringing the Star Dragon back, hunting down some of these Beastmen scraps. And they are going to struggle to deal with that big dragon, but maybe the Minotaurs can get some decent work in there, who are now running over, and this is really nice play. Getting these guys in, they will butcher the Swordmasters so hard. Getting here and put a big hurting as well on Alariel. Get the Harpies in there, full on collapse, use the added mobility of the Beastmen here. They managed to smack the middle. Now just put all your troops into this side and leave the Dragon Princes and Dragon chasing scraps on the other side of the battlefield and deal with them when you outnumber them heavily. Fireborn going toe-to-toe with some Razor Gore chaps, and these guys do actually have a decent amount of armor pierce and will be able to put a bit of hurt on the Fireborn. Of course, the Fireborn, elite of the elite troops. Unfortunately, no longer riding dragons, as most of the dragons have died out. They now simply ride on horses, but still a very mobile and painful threat. Looks like we do have some summoned Chaos Spawn trying to run over and pin in the Fireborn. It looks like a spell is coming down on these guys as well, just as they escape. Oh, that is a summon of the Chaos Spawn, pinning in some of these Fireborn as they try and move. Really nice play here. Is he going to be able to catch many? Looks like a lot of them are kind of slipping away here. A little bit unfortunate for the Beastmen there. Getting Chaos on them would have been really nice. But this battle is going very heavily in favour of the Beastmen now and Papa Palpatine. Swordmasters were crumped by just the sheer weight of numbers here. But we do have the dragon coming back, trying to assist Alariel and get a breath attack on those butchers, but nice dodge there. And they can actually probably go to work on this dragon and do a decent amount of work, especially when they've got all this range support nearby. Not the range support, sorry, but just kind of mobs of basic troops to saturate in and take some of that damage. So Razor Gauls were chasing off some fools over there, and with the 2 Chaos Spawn summons, they managed to beat the crap out of those Fireborn, even though Fireborn super elite, fire damage, magic damage, or actually not magic damage, just fire damage, but all that good stuff they have, they're now going to get chased off. Oh no, chase him, yes, okay, chase him with the Chaos Warhounds. Those Fireborn done for. The rest of the forces should be able to come back now and encircle this little Heat Leadership Corps that's left alive, with the Handmaiden of the Epic Queen Star Dragon getting healed up right now. But some Centaurs are chasing down Alariel, and, you know, she's pretty powerful. She is a lord, but at the same time, these are some very scary fools to mess with. And they're just going to be stabbing her to death, shattering her, and that is going to be army losses. And very well played by Papa Palpatine, getting a victory on his debut on the channel. So I hope you're watching a move, because that's what you're up against, bro. Cool, just sorry, looking through the messages now. Sent you stream friend code. Thank you, Renan. Yeah, Intensity's like vicious, man. He's a really good player. Wild cows riding into action. That's what we love to see, man. Cool, so overall, really fun armies. I think the Beastman army was definitely better set up to deal with the High Elves. Again, though, Fireborn and Star Dragon, with that healing, if they could just get enough support, I think they'd be fine. But these Lothran Seaguard really needed to be behind these spearmen, try and slow the enemy down, and he just didn't have enough to buffer and save his troops, unfortunately. So a move, if you are in the chat, boy, year's time. The lobby is like Ducky King of the Hill, I believe. Password 123. But I'll send a message and make sure he's ready. Oh, looks like he just sent me his code. Perfect. Cool. I'll just add him to my friends list. I might have a move already, I'm not sure. He's played in previous tournaments, so it makes sense, but... Cool, sent him an invite. And I'll also send Ronan an invite as well. Yep. Cool, Ronan, sent you an invite as well, dude. So we can try and get you in nice and quickly when the time does strike. Can I get in the queue again? You can, but I don't think we'll have time. Cool. I believe Sandman the Ben is a move hacker. So we're going to switch the map up. We will go... what do we fancy? Let's go Central Chaos Wastes, maybe. And we will adjust the scoreboard. So, Papa is at 1. Also, it looks like we had Park Map still equipped there. We have A move the Challenger. So let's get that all sorted. And it looks like he's in. The mighty A move making a return to the channel. We played a little while ago. Lobby is full. So Headwind Man, you are up in a little while. So we have A move, Park Map will be back, Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and then yourself. Gorn will be very happy indeed. Yes, Park Map you can play. Nice. What happened to I Speak Yell? No idea what that means, Papa, I'm afraid. He stopped speaking Yell. Not sure, dude. He stopped speaking Yell. Want I speak Yell? I have no idea who you're talking about, bro. Oh, maybe that is one of Amu's previous names. Okay, sorry, I was completely out of the loop there. So it looks like the king is going to go Chaos and ban Vampire Coast. Pretty nice ban there, as Vampire Coast have so much cheap armor pierce, and of course Chaos known for their heavy armored units. There is, Michael, do you have Discord? If you have Discord, man, shoot me a message on there. My name is Rubberduck of War. I'll invite you to my own Discord. There, I tend to advertise about 30 minutes before I then advertise to all the other Discords, just to let people know when these events are. So it's Amy's previous name. Ah, okay, it is. It is. Yes, it looks like we're getting some lizard men. Okay, lizard men are very, very potent and deadly in this matchup. But yeah, Michael, just send me a message on Discord. I'm on all the big Warhammer Discords, and my name on there is simply a Rubberduck of War. Cool. Loving to see the lizard men action. Let's make sure there's no questions on Discord. Ooh, looks like we're all good. So who is your money on? The reigning king. Can he fend off the usurpers? Or is A-Move Hacker, also known as Sandman the Ben, going to be able to come through and claim the crown? A-Move is a very talented player. Incredibly good to watch as well if you're a Dwarf fan. He's played in some of my previous Death Before Dishonours, I believe bringing the Dowie, and it's ridiculous. He is very, very good. And I believe he has qualified for the ECL finals as well, qualifying on the first attempt in the first qualifying heat. Hope some of you guys are out there as qualifying as well. You just hop on Turin's Tournament Discord and you guys can enter. ECL this year is kind of open invitational, so you can just hop on. As many people as possible will sign up. And then semi-finals and finals of each heat is streamed. And then, of course, the finals will be streamed as well, I'm sure, by the master YouTuber. I had a really cool interview today I thought to actually tell you guys about. Someone messaged me, like a uni student in their last year of uni. Looks like they're both ready to go. And they're working... I'm trying to think exactly what they're doing, but I think they're doing computer and games design. And they're working with the arts director of Total War. So it's really cool. So I had like an interview with them. They were asking me questions about the game. I don't want to say too much because I don't know what I'm meant to tell people, what people are meant to know. But they're basically working on parts of the game in future titles. And they're asking questions and all this kind of good stuff. And any suggestions we had as well, what the game could be improved. So it's just a really cool thing. Like, it was really random. Some guy just messaged me on Discord. I don't think he even knew me through the YouTube channel. I think it was just he picked random people. I guess he must have liked the sound of my name and messaged him about it. So it's pretty damn cool. I sent him a few names as well of people to talk to as well, which is probably a good idea to get improvements on multiplayer. Man, this is so cool. It's like the lower jaw of some gigantic monster has been buried here under this hill. You see a lot of fighting often take place on top of this hill. A lot of people try and rush up there. But we do have lizardmen, so they're going to be a bit slow and dutiful, so they might not be able to rush up there too quickly. But lizardmen tend to be very good against Chaos. Lizardmen, of course, can bring those big, nasty monsters, which Chaos of Halberds can deal with, but it's a bit of a struggle, especially if Croak is involved, and he can just drop some nukes on people. Which is very, very scary. Yes, it's always good to see Chaos as a Lizard, though. It's an old-school grudge match. It's one of the OG matchups in Warhammer Fantasy lore. Which is awesome, by the way. I highly recommend anyone who likes the game to get into the fantasy lore. I know it's all changed now with Age of Sigma, and some of it's a bit weird, especially with the end times, but at the same time, there's some really good stuff in there as well. Some really good authors. Dan Abnett, very, very good. Also, Gav Forbes, very good. So anyway, enough talk. Let's get through Palpatine's army. So up front, he has gone for the Beast. So he's going to be trying to match him monster for monster, going with Kolek Suneater as his leader. He's also got a Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. Looks like he has Final Transmutation. He also has Plague of Rust and a Forbidden Rod. Final Transmutation could be really key here on whacking down any big units. Looks like we have a very interesting army from A-Move coming in. Front line, we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons mixed in the bunch there with some basic Chaos Warriors. Also some Chosen with Halberds. Really expecting some big Dimos here coming in with the big boys. We also have some Dragon Ogres as well. So Dragon Ogres, Kolek, and Chosen are all here designed to kill big angry monsters. We have 2 units of Marauder Horsemen with thrown axes, and also 2 units of Chaos Warhounds with poison, just to chase down skinks, skirmishes, and whatnot. Really like this. Escorting your horsemen with hounds is a really nice way of shielding them, protecting them, and also hunting down skirmishers themselves. So for Sandman the Ben, also known as a move hacker, we have 2 units of Chameleon Skinks up front. Really solid skirmish unit, one of the best in the game. We have another 2 units of Chameleon Skinks just back in his deployment zone. It looks like we have a full skirmish build here. We have a Skink Priest of Heavens coming in with a Mighty Wind Blast, and what's the other one? We also have Urion's Thunderbolt. And then for the main line, I suppose, is built up of Razordon hunting packs. We have 1 and 1 also being the Amaxon Barbs. We have a further Razordon hunting pack, and then we also have the Umbral Tide driven around Salamanders, one of my favourite units. 2 units of Horned Ones, and a Mighty Saurus Old Blood up on a Carnosaur. What a bizarre, awesome build coming in here from Amave. It'll be interesting to see how this works and what happens when he runs out of ammo, which is a big problem on the Razordons and the like. Looks like some of them are about to be ambushed by some Chaos Warhounds and Marauders with thrown axes, but these Horned Ones are going to have something to say about that, I'm sure. Looks like some early skirmishing on the right flank as well. Chameleon Skinks, they're going to be taking a bit of a charge, I'm afraid. Oh no, looks like the Chaos Warhounds know what you're doing. Hop on these guys. Need to get in them and start shutting them down here. On the other flank, it looks like the skirmishers were pushed away just by the sheer presence and mass blob of the Lizardman Nazis. Over on the far side, we do have Chaos Warhounds who did manage to catch some Chameleon Skinks, but unfortunately for them, some Horned Ones have retaliated here, and they are tearing those Chaos Warhounds apart. Really nice to see Horned Ones being used. Umbral Tide up on high ground, firing some shots into Dragon Ogres, perfect target for them as they are anti-large and... Wait, are they anti-large or are they just fire-breathing? They must have big bonus versus large. But they are deadly against these type of troops. Razor's getting a little bit danger close, just flirting with death a little bit. Saurus Old Blood has managed to pop on top of these Chaos Warhounds. One of the units he really wants to eliminate, he wants to stop the mobility of these Chaos, take down the Marauder Horsemen, take down the... oh, nice Wind Blast coming in here as well, taking down some Chaos Warriors. He wants to take down the kind of movable factions or movable units in the Chaos Army, destroy them, and then he's going to be able to kite for absolute days with this build. But it's going to be an absolute ton of micro stress. Horned Ones coming down the hill now, going to be getting a nice rear attack onto these Chaos Warriors as they do chase the Umbral Tide, and this is going to be very painful. These Horned Ones do an absolute ton of damage, and in they go into the back of these Chaos Warriors. So the Umbral Tide actually decided to hold their ground slightly there, just to tie up these Chaos Warriors. Across to the other side, we can see some big shots about to come in on these Dragon Ogres, no doubt, as Horned Ones do engage them. Urion's Thunderbolt comes in doing some okay damage. We do have all the Razorns now trying to shoot down this Kolek Suneater, who has popped his buffs. Looks like he was going toe-to-toe with the Saurus Old Blood. Over on the other side as well, Amaxon Barbs fleeing for their life. Another Urion's Thunderbolt coming in, but slightly missing the Chaos Sorcerer. Perhaps trying to use it in a similar way to Fire one, I forget its name. Is it Serum Doom? Whatever the Fire Bolts at the moment, which are very powerful. And we'll try getting some decent shots into the side of these Chaos Warriors, who are just trying to bounce around, but there's so much crossfire coming in. We do have some returning Chaos Warhounds who are going to be able to pop on top of the Umbral Tide and shut them down if these Horned Ones aren't careful as well. They're getting tied up by Chosen with halberds. Looks like, though, really good micro. They are going to be moved over here to take down those Chaos Warhounds. In distance, Chameleon Skink's doing a great job as well, just pushing away these Marauder Horsemen, keeping them at arm's reach from the rest of the army. And Kolek getting in there where he can, doing some serious damage to the Saurus Old Blood, but in retaliation, the Dragon Ogres have taken huge damage from the skirmish of the Amaxon Barbs and his Razorn Hunting Pack, but he really needs to keep them on his toes. This must be so micro-heavy right now for both of these players, but in particular the Lizardmen, who are trying to keep all their forces alive. Some Chaos Warriors have been broken off. The Chameleons starting to get to work on the Chosen with halberds. Now these guys have a decent amount of armour, coming in at 120, which is pretty damn heavy. So they're going to die very slowly, and a nice downhill charge coming on them by the Horned Ones. If these guys cycle charge, that is perfectly fine to do this. Yes, the enemy are anti-large, but if they're all on the floor, it doesn't matter too much. So we have mass swarms here of the Umbral Tide and some more Razordons floating over to this side of the battlefield. Going to be trying to target down these Dragon Ogres and Kolek. You'll see the shots coming in as well, doing some decent damage on these Chaos Warriors. And there's just so many targets for the Chaos to chase and get down. The balance power is slightly in his favour here. Skink Priest getting a little bit danger close there, being hunted down by the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, who is on a horse, with some rampaging Horned Ones as well going into these Chaos Warriors. There is some hounds and some fairly healthy Marauder horsemen as well in the distance with a decent amount of ammo who could come back and affect this quite effectively. So, Horned Ones should probably chase off these 3 units, rout them, get off these Chaos Warhounds, force off these units here and stop them coming back. But it looks like he's really trying to focus down and get some nice rear charges on the Chaos Chosen with Halberds, which isn't a bad play, but at the same time he needs to protect his chameleon skinks. And disaster like this happens where your units do rampage, which is the main problem for Horned Ones and why they're not considered competitive by most. They've now rampaged into some Chosen. If there's no cold-blooded available, these guys will just slowly get dragged down now. But overall, pretty interesting matchup so far. Horned One's going to be coming over here to try and assist taking down that Chosen. Looks like we do have a spell popping in now. What is it going to be? Ooh, don't know what that was. It's still kind of just floating around there. Maybe one of the wizards is trying to get a little bit close over here to receive the buff or debuff. Oh, it's a final transmutation. Okay, final transmutation. Look, he was trying to snipe out the Skink Priest and these Horned Ones. We do have the Dragon Ogres running for the hills, and a ton of skirmish now coming on Kolek. Chameleon Skinks slowing him down, Umbral Tide doing the damage. But there still is a very healthy unit of Chosen. There's been cycle charge for days. We do have these Razordons going to be constantly doing those armor-piercing shots into the side of them, which will bring them down. And how many Warhounds and units do we have left for the Chaos? As they're going to be super key. We have one fairly healthy unit here. We also have the Marauder Horsemen with Thrown Axes, which are probably charging to combat in this situation. And one forgotten unit at the back. No, it's been brought back. Perfect here. So we still have a hell of a game on our hands. Kolek chasing down that Saurus Old Blood, who's just running for his life here as fast as he can. Looks like the Skink Priest has gone down. Ooh, this could be deadly. So we have the Poison Warhounds trying to get in the way of the Saurus Old Blood and slow him down. They're going to be poisoning him, making him move much, much slower and allowing Kolek to beat the crap out of him, which of course he will do if he manages to make that. Chameleon Skinks are being used as a buff here to stop these Marauder Horsemen from hopping on top of the Umbral Tide, who are really needed here. This is in the balance. If Kolek goes down here and these hounds die, I think the Lizardmen have this. If not, if Saurus Old Blood gets caught and butchered, this could be a really tough affair. Ooh, big news here. Skink Priest has rallied, and Winds of Magic here could be very key into the late game. Doesn't matter how much health he has, as long as he can still cast spells. Chosen have been picked off, though, by the mass firepower of these Razordons. And the problem is he doesn't have any kind of troops left to chase anyone away. We have this very beat-up unit of Horned Ones, but I feel like as soon as they get close to me, they will be running away. And all the Lizardmen have kind of been brought into one section here. All the Razordons, all the Umbral Tide, and the Old Blood need to spread out and make sure that the Chaos can't focus their presence in one area. Another spell coming in. Oh, it looks like that was actually from Kolek there, trying to get some decent damage. Over in the distance, Chameleon Skinks trying to take down this Chaos Sorcerer. Not the worst melee combatants, but I don't think they're going to be able to stand up to those Chaos Warriors. We have more Chameleon Skinks returning, but they're starting to run out of ammo, which could be a real problem for this army. So the Saurus Old Blood is going toe-to-toe with Kolek, who has popped Foeseek here. We have all the supporting firepower coming from Umbral Tide and Razordons as well. This is super close. Could be very key to wins. There's Saurus Blood down to 800 health. Kolek on 900 at the moment. Saurus Old Blood maybe needs to get out, think about getting out of there. Razordons are starting to flee as well. These guys really need to be shooting in, but they're not. They're being forced away by some nice play by these Chaos Warriors. Old Blood, he's surviving, 377 health, 830 for the mighty Kolek though, but in comes that Umbral Tide firepower, and you see how quickly they nuke him, but down the Umbral Tide goes, not the Umbral Tide, sorry, the Saurus Old Blood. The Kolek at the same time is running, which may actually turn out being a good thing for the Chaos here, as it gets him away from this nasty firing squad, gets him way out into the middle here, where he can just be used and protected. Chameleon Skinks chasing off more horsemen, but that's really been the problem here for A-Move at the moment, is he hasn't had the units to chase off enemy and finish them off, and now he's just got some battered Umbral Tide and Razordon hunting packs, but they just don't have that much ammunition left, but there's not too much chaos. Chosen here, really going to beat up quite badly, down to 20 models, but there's so many troops dotted all around the map for the Chaos that if brought together, I think it's going to be a real struggle. Especially when these Warhounds are concerned. Kolek, 490 health, just keep him away from the battle. Keep him away. But I think this is going to be a victory for Chaos and Papa Palpatine, which is really nice on his debut here. Coming in, winning the first game and going into the second one pretty damn strong here. Just keep Kolek alive, literally just miles away from the enemy where possible. Looks like Razor Hunter Pack trying to get onto him and keep this fight going, but it's going to be super tough here. Maybe with enough skirmish. Umbral Tide getting some decent damage on Chosen, trying to break those guys off, but I'd be more worried at the moment by these Chaos Warriors who constantly kind of harassing and haunting these poor Razordon's dream here. But yeah, so Warhound's been used effectively. It has now shattered some Chameleon Skinks. Just float over here, shatter them off as well. Chaos Sorcerer Metal though has been caught quite disastrously here by the Umbral Tide. If they can get one more volley off, they might be able to kill him. He's down to 140 health. Really nice play over here though. Marauder Horsemen just throwing axes into these Razons and forcing them away. Those Chosen just will not break, down to 16 models and still fighting. But so far, it's still pretty close. These Chosen break, perhaps by the constant fire of the Razordons. They are down to just 540 health, but they are just tanking these shots right now. Oh, a couple got exploded. Pretty nasty there, and these guys surely are going to break. And then he focus fires down the Chaos Warriors. There's not too much left alive. Umbral Tide trading really effectively here against these Marauder Horsemen, who of course have been completely shattered. They were completely deleted their source code. Umbral Tide then cycle charge into the Chaos Warriors. I assume they're going to fall back from that. Chameleon Skinks chasing off the Chaos Sorcerer, and all of a sudden, this is looking very good for a move here. These Chaos Warhounds really need to be over here pressuring these guys, not allowing them to get these, falling back, shooting, falling back and shooting. Of course, the attacking role is still being followed. A-Move is trying to get into combat pretty much constantly with his Chameleon Skinks. They've been running around, and we also even have the Umbral Tide as well, who have Rampage, so this is pretty key now. He is going to lose the Umbral Tide to these Chaos Warriors, and those guys are perfect to do huge damage to Kolek, but he is wavering pretty heavily over there. And these Chaos Warriors desperately trying to get into combat, but the Razordons are going to be attacking from two sides. The Axon Barbs, who have now run out of ammo, which is pretty disastrous from them. Chaos Warriors pushing forward, going to be receiving a rear charge soon, maybe a collapse over there. Razordons on the right, though, are starting to flee. Chameleons dart into combat to help their brothers against these Chaos Warriors. This game is so close. It is so close. Balance power heavily in favour of Chaos, but that is because their Lord is still alive. A nice rear attack here by the Maximum Barbs. We do, decent stats in melee. Chaos Warriors slowly being dragged down. And hopefully these Razordons will be able to turn and shoot in as well. They might start hunting down the mighty Kolek here, but those Chaos Warhounds as well are going to be a big problem. So Umbral Tide has started to run, but that's fine, as they may rally, and literally one or two volleys, even from only 5 of them, will tear down Kolek. In retaliation, some Chaos Warriors did run, and him back come the Umbral Tide, and they're instantly going to hop on top of him. Some Barbs do flee, though, from the combat from the Chaos Warriors, and the Warhounds are going to be able to get on top of the Razor hunting pack here. They fire one last volley. Is it enough to break the Chaos Warhounds? It doesn't look like it. They need to break them super quick here and escape these Chaos Warriors. Kolek does start to flee in the other direction with Umbral Tide chasing him. A couple more shots and he'd be broken. It's just the Chaos Warriors left alive. It looks like the Hounds did completely shatter, in fact. Oh, this is... I've said this like 50 times, but this is dirt close. Umbral Tide, can they get off one volley? So it looks like Kolek has rallied, but there's some Chaos Warriors nearby who do break. Oh, they're going to be able to get that one volley. They're trying desperately to close the distance here. Chaos Warriors now entangled in some Chameleon Skinks. Maxon Barbs, also in the basic Razordons, will now try and get around the flank and fire into their rear. Oh, both of these guys are wavering so much, but they do get one volley. And that does shatter Kolek instantly. It's just these Chaos Warriors alive. What a madness game this has been. Looks like the Razordons are actually going for a rear attack there. Probably going to start cycle charging a little bit, just trying to break these Chaos Warriors. It looks like it's going to do the trick. Well, these Chameleons are breaking as well. And Umbral Tide super beat up. Chaos Warriors, will they hold? Leadership is currently 9-6, 9-6. Yeah, those Razordons need to get back out there, turn around, fire some shots in as well. Chameleon Skinks done decent so far. Looks like he's going to be going for the cycle charging rather than the shooting, just to try and finish them off. But it should probably work. We do have some rallying Chaos Warriors over on the flank, and I don't think they're going to make it back in time to make too much of a difference. It looks, in fact, like the Umbral Tide is going to run over there. Maybe engage in combat, just trying to shock charge them into retreating here. So we have the Maxim Barbs who have returned, all 4 members here, and in comes the spray of spikes landing on these guys. And that will probably be enough to break them. Leadership, oh yeah, leadership minus 154. That is not what you want to see. What a game. Pure madness there. And A-Move Hacker does manage to claim the crown of Papa Palpatine's head. So he is returned to the dead, unfortunately. But that was so madness. That was insane. So, what to say about the armies? Papa Palpatine, I think that's very good army to deal with the kind of standard Lizardman play, but this was not standard Lizardman play. 3 Razordon hunting packs, Umbral Tide, 2 of Horned Ones, and then a ton of Chameleon Skinks. That was pretty damn insane. So Park Map, hope you're ready, my friend. As you're going to be up next, I'll send you an invite once Palpatine pops out. Let's change this to Palpatine is gone. It will be Park Map, and a move is up to 1. The current king. My great weapons were no use without Temple Guard to fight. Exactly. Is that often in this game you can try and play a few little mind games and outthink your opponent. Let's see. Sorry, I just missed a little bit in chat. Yeah, man, just play more games, Magnus, honestly. You do slowly get there. Don't know why Kalec shattered. I think it has been shot at the negatives overall, and then... But yeah, he had the power balance in his favour. But I don't think there was much escape in those Umbral Tides. They were a little bit on the hunt. So it looks like Park Map is the challenger. I'm going to be playing on Altdorf Outskirts. Oh, my terrible spelling there, trying to do quick typing. So after this is going to be Zeus, so if you're in chat, man, get ready as well. Then Monochrome, Ronim, Tehenowin, and then maybe Croissant or Consul if they turn up in time. No, Park Map dropped. Let's see. Oh, Captellus, you're not in the Discord yet. What? I thought I did invite you at one point. I'll send you an invite, dude. What's up, Darth Pendragon? Unfortunately, I think it is a bit too late. I don't think we're going to have enough people. Park Map is back. Cool. So, what's he gone, sorry? So, Amy the Hacker, once again, representing the Lizard Man. A man after my own heart there. Man of clear class. And banning Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings is a really horrible matchup for Lizard Men, in my opinion. And yeah, okay. Just need to reply to message. Cool, I'll let him know that I can add him to the list in case there's any drops and whatnot. Cool, Park Map is Trying Coast, which I think is a very good pick against the Lizardmen. It's definitely doable. Lizardmen have so many options in pretty much every matchup. You can swarm really effective with them, and you become a really cool mobile threat as well with all the hunting packs and chameleons and so forth. How many are there in the queue? There is quite a few. I'll just double check. So we currently have a move versus Park Map. We then have Zeus, Monochrome, Ronin, and Tehenowin. And possibly Croissant and Consul if they make it, but we only have about an hour's time, so I'm going to really try and get through that core set of players first. Sorry, Monochrome. Sorry, dude. Next time we'll try and get you in a little bit earlier. But thanks for tuning in, dude. We'll definitely try and get you in next time. I might even try it like an hour earlier stream next week or something, and try and get you back. Cool, well, they'll assign their armies. I will sort out. Cool, Capitellus is on my fam. That'd be great. Loving the stream. Awesome, dude. I'm just going to invite Darth Pendragon as well to the Discord. Just so in the future it's an easier way of finding out where my events are and stuff. And getting yourself in the queue nice and early. Cool, add in Captellus to the list as well. So we have Pendragon and Tellus. But I think it's unlikely we're going to get that far, but we'll see. We might have a few dropouts and so forth. Anyone is my YouTube account name. Wait, what? No way. So Tehenwin's already playing. Okay, I did not realise. Tehenwin was Amy of Hacker's name. You think let's have an edge here? I think they struggle, bro. Like, there's so much cheap AP. But at the same time, you could be right. There's a lot of swarming. Skinks are really effective here. Pterodons, if you don't get them shot down, could be quite nice. It's an interesting matchup for sure. Looks like a move is ready. So that's another off the list, actually. So Tehenwin's already playing. So it's a move against Parliament, where we have Zeus, Ronin, Pendragon, and Tellus. So we may get you guys in. I will try my best. But as I said before, unfortunately I've got work tomorrow morning. And it's my first shift at like a new part of the job. So I should probably get well rested and be there early and all that kind of, standard fun stuff. But I will be streaming again next week. We had a really fun Civil War stream the other day between Clan ODM. So all the members of Clan ODM kind of went up against each other in like a mini Civil War. 4 players against 4. It was really good fun. I believe we had Zyphos, Pacta, Loopy, and Mudkip, I believe, played. So really top quality players. If you want to go see some really high level Wood Elf play in particular, go check that out. It was awesome. So we might be doing another one of those soon as well. Might ask a movie if he wants to get his clan involved, or we get the Extreme Meme team. There's a few of them in our Discord as well. But if you guys are enjoying, please do smash that thumbs up button. And if you're new, please feel free or consider subscribing. It really helps out, of course. Helps the channel grow and get us to more people. Tell your mum about me. Tell your nan. I'm sure she'll love some Total War action. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Altdorf Outskirts is a map I really need to start adding into my tournament rotation. I don't actually have it in there at the moment, but I saw it the other day in the ECL and I was like, why do I not have this map in there? It's an old school map from Total War Warhammer 1. Just awesome. Hills, trees, lots of sneakiness along the periphery here in the trees, and also some in the middle, and this nice little shot blocker, so you can see your opponent's army, but sometimes it messes up the shooting, which makes some pretty interesting choices. Oh, bro, I see we have a man of culture here, leading the Vampire Pirates set. So park map coming in heavy with Queen Bess here, which is pretty damn awesome. Huge investment, super risky, but if there's Temple Guard and whatnot, it will tear them a new one. For a leadership corps, we do have a Vampire Fleet Admiral with his little polearm here, roaring and shearing into the sky. We also have 2 gunnery rights, really going for that extra reload and extra ammo on Queen Bess, I assume. Let's have a little look. Yeah, they have Cacafruit. Enhanced ballistics, increasing that aim, and more powder, which replenishes ammunition, which is so goddamn good. They're obviously going to be hanging around Queen Bess. So we also have 3 units of zombie pirate deckhand mobs just to hold the line and be, squishy, be a little bit of pain. Also a load of the standard mobs as well, just pirate deckhand mobs, including the regiment renowned the Tide of Scourged? Scald. That's what I'm going to say. So they hold the line, they're there to be a bit squishy and just slowly fade away. We also have 2 units of Depth Guard, incredibly good in this matchup at tearing through Saurus Warriors and the like. We also have 1, 2, 3 units of the zombie pirate gunnery mobs, including one of them being the Black Spot, which is the Regiment Renowned version. Just super cheap, super nice AP. Let's have a little look at A-Move's build and see what he's brought. I expect nothing and expect everything at the same time from him. He has so many weird builds. He's gone for a front line of Skink Cohort mixed in with Saurus Warriors, which is a nice mix, just for trying to push through as many avenues as possible and get on that back line, which could be very dangerous for Queen Bessie. We do have some Saurus Spears in the back, and Maxon Barbs as well, clearly showing that he's a fan favourite of those guys. More Saurus in the back as well. So Depth Guard going to be an absolute monster here to deal with for this army. Apart from that, though, they should be able to swarm very effectively. We have 2 Saurus Scar Veterans on Cold Ones, which is nice to see down here. Are they just kitted out with the basic stuff? Yeah, it looks like they've just got their Cold Blood. That's about it. We also have a Slan Mage Priest of Life. Pretty interesting choice here. There's not too much to heal up, you wouldn't think, but still. Let's see what he's brought with him. So he does have Banishment, which is going to be needed to drop on those Depth Guard. Can do a ton of damage. Shield of the Old Ones, or of Quetzal. Blood Statue of Spite, also going to be very good there. Shield of Thorns, and Earthblood. So he's got a lot of kind of staying power, and he should be able to grind through this army, or so he hopes. Or is Queen Bess going to be able to do a real number on these guys? Not the best targets, there's no Temple Guard, Super Elite Infantry or anything, but just grinding through the Saurus early on would be quite nice. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can crack this defensive posture. He certainly has the numbers to do it. Gone very, very wide here. Looks like they've just done a good luck, have fun. Always good to see good sportsmanship. So those guys who just joined my Discord and people who are new here and want to get involved, my main tournament is called Death Before Dishonor, and it's for a reason. It's you don't want to dishonor yourself, and be an arse or kind of any kind of cheatiness or just foul play or just generally being a pain. Of course, if most people, in fact everyone I've dealt with so far has been very welcoming, very nice, and good sportsmanship, and that always gets you invited back. So big Queen Bez launching a shot high up into the sky. Not the most accurate, but we will see where this one lands. Oh, this could be deadly. Oh, nice micro here by A-Move, moving these Saurus Warriors out of the way, taking minimum casualties in the end, just losing 2 Saurus in the end. Another shot coming in. Looks like they've switched targets to some different Saurus Warriors. Once again, A-Move very vigilant of where this big cannon is shooting and moving his troops, which is a big problem with Best. Obviously, once they get in combat, they can't move around so much, but you really need to get this long-range damage to make it cost-effective. Queen Best is very expensive. But another shot coming in. Is he going to be able to dodge this one? Looks like he's moving. Oh, another dodge. Really nice micro here by A-Move, and a big problem at the moment early on for Park Map. So Max and Barbs, looks like they're trying to find a home, sneaking up, seeing where they can get some shots in. Looks like them and the Saurus Scarvichans maybe trying to loop all the way around the back here to try and get some decent damage. Queen Best making contact this time. Not the greatest hit once again. A little bit too soon, but I'm not sure if A-Move managed to dodge that one. Not quite as effectively. Still, though, only 72 models. That's hasn't really lost too much at all there. And Queen Bess is already running, not low on ammunition, but she doesn't have the most in the world. 11 shots left. We do, of course, have those gunnery whites who are going to be replenishing that ammo. Love the scorch marks Queen Bess leaves wherever the shot's going. Another shot going high. Is this one going to make contact? He needs some of these to start making contact really soon. Looks like, once again, though, they're going to be trying to juke it. Oh, looks like we're getting a little bit of lag. Hopefully it should sort itself out. Much better shot there. Much, much better. Hitting the centre of that Saurus. Kind of, I don't know, though. Only 3 kills from a pretty much direct hit. They were fairly spread out. It's much better against people like High Elves and so forth, who are kind of tightly compact. But at the same time, different tools and different for different situations and whatnot. If you had brought Temple Guard, this thing could be getting some huge value. But right now, it's not doing too much, unfortunately. So it looks like we're going for a mass overload on this flank from A-Move, and we need some response here from Part Map. He has dragged out some zombie pirate deckhand polearms, and also some zombie pirate gunnery mobs to try and assist here, but I think he's going to need to bring some more of his elite troops over as well. But at the same time, there's just so much threats from all angles. It looks like the skink cohorts are going to get around this side as well, and a swarm situation is definitely about to occur. Early shots coming into the Amox and Barbs, but they are shooting through some trees, so not all those shots have been quite as effective. And there is a tiny shot blocker here as well, which you might be able to use to dodge out the opponent. We do have an Earthblood going down on some Saurus Warriors, just trying to keep them alive. Looks like they may have taken some pretty hefty shots from Queen Bess. The Tide as well, going up against some Saurus Warriors, just trying to hold back the enemy as long as possible. Sneaky Skinks trying to get around the outside, but nice play so far by Part Map, keeping kind of everything very active, being very aware to threats. We do have a big banishment coming down on the black spot now, but unfortunately for A-Move, as it often does, the banishment is just going to start floating away. It might be able to come over to these zombies if it lasts long enough, but it did very minimal damage in the end. In come the Skinks, taking a hail of bullets though as they do. We also have the Saurus Scarvichan going at gun-ho into some sort of pirate deckhand polearms, which isn't the best target for him, but he may force him through. Looks like that banishment, really didn't get any much kind of value at all. Skinks are swarming the side, and they will slowly drag down these zombie pirates, but they need to do it quickly and shut down these guns, as the Depth Guard are going to mulch through this front line of Saurus Warriors very effectively, and they just keep going. They, of course, they heal in combat as well. They do have the Thirst or the Hunger. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they regenerate whilst they fight, and they tear apart Saurus and, of course, these poor little Skinks. So they have a lot of kind of stability and staying power. Skink cohort just swarming through some zombies. Also have managed to get on top of one of the gunnery mobs, which is good. This needs to be happening throughout, and it looks like we do have the Saurus Scarvicans trying to push into the back line. Once again, some really nice counterplay coming by Park Map. But Skink cohorts on top of Queen Bess, who's nearly out of ammo as well. We have some summoned zombie pirate gunnery mobs, but it looks like they're charging to combat against these Skinks to try and help out Queen Bess, who does have all hands ahoy, puffing that leadership and weapon damage on them themselves. So it looks like this right flank hasn't been quite as successful as the left flank for A move, and the centre has fallen to Depth Guard, who are already up to 52 kills and pretty much full health, as you can see, and they're going to come back and start mulching on some more Saurus. The other units as well, up to 12 kills, struggling to get into combat a little bit. It does have a blood statue of spite as well, popped in it by this Slan Mage Priest, who's going to be trying to escape. I'm assuming the Axe and Barbs are going to be popping over here and trying to do some decent damage. Saurus Scorpion trying to go toe-to-toe with Vampire Fleet Captain. Not a fight he wants to pick, as of course there is a polearm involved. The anti-large Shield of Thorns popped down on these skinks. But nice, Queen Best, they disengage their crew. No, it looks like they're still on their crew trying to get some shots away. Ooh, that is like the shortest range cannon fire ever. Lands pretty badly, unfortunately. It does do some decent damage to the Saurus Warriors, but also to the Depth Guard, which isn't what you want to see, as they are going to be very key for this engagement. Balance of power is slowly kind of going in favour of Park Map and the Vampires, but as we saw from the previous game, that doesn't mean too much to A move. Park Map's troops are slowly getting dragged down on this flank. Saurus will be able to drag through against the polearms and, of course, the gunnery mobs. Ooh, nice summon, though, saturating these Saurus spears down with some deckhand mobs. At the same time, there's still a lot of key elements on, active for the Vampires, mainly these Depth Guard, who I don't know how he's going to deal with them. Maybe he's going to be able to skirmish them out with the Axe and Barbs, which he's trying to do over on this side, and just constant magic threats by the Slan Mage, coming in with those blood statues of spite and so forth. But these guys cannot afford to get caught here. Yeah, another blood statue does go down, really trying to nuke this unit, but an invocation of heck being popped as a countermeasure. Looks like we do have a spell coming down here on these poor skink cohorts who have not been able to take down the Queen Best crew. Oh, it is a banishment, in fact, trying to tear up these Depth Guard as they do approach in. Only catching a few models, unfortunately. He's been quite unlucky with those banishments, not doing too much work here. Where's the risk of banishments? They're not the best sometimes. Axe and Barbs doing a great job of kiting these Depth Guard, but they do not want to get in combat as the Depth Guard will heal up very quickly. We do have one Saurus Scorpion still floating about. Where's the other one? Sure, we didn't miss the other one dying. Maybe it is just the one going around still, trying to get in there. He's a decent answer, Depth Guard, actually, to pin them back and hold them down while the Axe and Barbs finish them off with shooting. And both units of Depth Guard are chasing at this point. In the main fight, Vampire Fleet Captain is getting down and dirty, getting in the mix with the Saurus, showing them who's boss. Doing a nice little twirl there with his polearm, doing some broad swiping attacks, trying to finish them out. And I think this is going quite heavily now in favour of Park Map. We do have some returning Saurus spear units and some skink cohorts. There's some very shattered units fleeing the battlefield miles away. Is that the Saurus Scorpion? It is indeed, betraying his troops and fleeing. We do have some skink cohorts, though, returning with some Saurus as well, who may, if Park Map isn't being very aware of those guys' return, that's pop on to Queen Best. But it's going to take them a while to get there. In the meantime, there's a lot of Saurus hunting down these very beat-up troops. But this unit of Depth Guard is key here. So we do have another blood statue of spite being popped on it. If this unit can be finished off and the Axe and Barbs come back and get some rear shots into the Depth Guard, that could be a pretty big lifesaver here for the Lizardmen. But apart from that, they are starting to struggle quite badly. Axe and Barbs even resorted to getting into combat here with the Depth Guard to try and finish them off. There are only 8 models left alive. As you can see, their health does keep regenerating and dropping at different rates, but it looks like it's dropping far faster than it is popping up, as they are starting to deteriorate as well. Getting some shots into his Depth Guard could be key, but it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. There's still 42 of them, and they've upped so far to 174 kills. The leadership core as well of these Gunnery Wights and the Vampire Fleet Captain are pretty much full health, and Bessie is constantly going to be getting that regeneration to its ammo from these guys. Up to 117 kills now, so really nice dodging early on, but once the battle does start, there's not too much he can do, and as these guys are rampaging, he can't micro them. What a shot by Queen Bess, breaking both units there, really stopping that kind of resurgence from the Lizardmen on that flank. Axe and Barbs trying to take down the crew of Queen Bess, but the Vampire Fleet Captain got something to say about that, also summoning a gunnery mob unit to get some shots in. Looks like the Slan Mage is going to go try to tie those guys up, and the Saurus Scorpion is just such a unlucky pick here for what he's up against. He just can't do any damage to that Vampire Fleet Captain, really, without taking huge amounts in return. Looks like we're going to be getting a buff coming down, possibly. Enhanced ballistics are active here, helping out Queen Bess, but the crew is starting to get munched on by the Max and Barbs. Depth Guard coming over to say something about that though. A couple of units have completely shattered by the Saurus Warriors on this flank, which is pretty disastrous for the Lizardmen. Queen Bess doing some really nice work here. He's really managed to make it work even after those kind of early misses. Getting up to 148 kills is just ridiculously good value right now. Depth Guard as well, 209 kills. There's just no answer in this army to deal with them. The Banishments could have done it with the Blood Statutes of Spite and the Max and Barbs, but unfortunately the Banishments just weren't particularly accurate. So another shot coming in, and boom! Queen Bessie's certainly got her sights now, being very accurate in the late game here, doing some serious work, and now to 161. Slan trying to hold things together here, but he's really going to struggle, I think. Max and Barbs firing, trying to do damage to Queen Bess, actually targeting the artillery piece itself, but with the Depth Guard here as well, I think it's going to be a little bit too much for the Lizards to handle, which is very sad, as Lizardmen are my favourite faction. It would mean we have a new king in every matchup so far, which is pretty damn good. So, Saurus running in, but they're running into Depth Guard. They're just going to get absolutely deleted in a matter of seconds. Saurus Scarvichin is going down. Nice little last stand here, but he will be pulled apart by that Vampire Fleet Admiral. Slan trying his best, but he's not built for combat. Van Horseman's Speculum as well popped in him. He's popped an Earthblood to try and keep him and the Saurus going. Oh, a big shot coming in from Queen Bess on my poor Raison Hunting Pack here. Two of them fall into that mighty shot. Their bullets are coming in. They have managed to tear apart Queen Bess's crew quite effectively. They can tear them down, maybe do some long range damage to the Depth Guard, but there's no chance that Slan's going to win this engagement. He needs to win this as well, even with the Earth Blood. Saurus Scarvichin has shattered, and that's going to be army losses, and Park Map coming in and snatching that crown from A Move Hacker. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? We'll have to find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Now we can have a little sip of water quick. Super fun builds though. Really nice to see the Raison Hunting Pack being used effectively in the first game and still pretty effectively here. And Queen Bess 165 kills and those Depth Guard 267. Really helping carry the day, protect that back line even against the swarms. I really like A-Move's army here. I think that's very effective normally, but there was just too much for him to handle unfortunately in the end. Man, fuck Coast on the map. Coast are like really powerful. So, Zeus is up next. I will send him a message. Make sure he's on the line. I think he is. Cool. Send him a quick message and just give him a couple of minutes to respond to let me know he's coming on, and we'll get going. So, a new king is born into this madness. So, A Move unfortunately has gone down there. So, let's replace him with Zeus. And Park Map is up one. So, can anyone hold on to the crown? It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough indeed. Ducking game, I didn't really notice. Was the game very laggy? Not too bad. And we're going to switch map to... What are we going to go for? Let's go Kelvin Coldus. Kelvin Coldus could be a fun map. Oh, looks like I missed quite a lot in chat. What's up, guys? Yeah, what's up, Warden? Nice to see you, man. No worries. We have currently seen Ninja versus Papa Palpatine, which Papa Palpatine managed to claim the crown, but it was then stolen from him by A-Move Hacker, who then got it in return stolen by Park Map. So, very interesting so far. No one's been able to hold on for more than one game so far. Yeah, some cav would have really helped there. At the same time, it's quite risky. Oh, drop my phone. Because there's some very cheap halberd options that they can bring. But yeah, they needed some help against those Depth Guard. Yeah, Queen Bess went off there. I feel like Bess is still a little bit sketchy because she's super inaccurate. But let's see. So, let's see if Zeus is online. If he's not, Ronin, you will be up. So, Lord Zeus currently isn't online. So I may replace him with Ronin and then get him into the next round if he does a merge. It's going ahead, bro. So make sure Zeus hasn't said anything in chat. Yeah, it's pretty hard for Lizards. I think it's a hard matchup for them, personally. Cool. Looks like Zeus isn't coming online, so Ronin, if you want to pop in. I'll send you an invite. Oh, Ronin, your Extreme Meme team. I did not know. I may have a proposition for you later then, actually. I know Noob for Life is as well. We've also got Flying Tack and a few other people in my Discord, Mr. Falcon. I did like a civil war situation where we had ODM clan members fight against each other, so I'm looking to do that as well in the future with other clans. So obviously Extreme Meme Team, QSA, all those cool guys. Yeah, it looks like Ronin is in. So it's maybe your lucky day, Pendragon and who was that person who tried joining a little bit late? Cap, tell us. Maybe I'd get you guys in time. So this is Ronin's first game on the channel, I believe. Not playing as a benefit, I believe. I am ready in that case, and I'm ready. I mean, I haven't played 3 years. Sometimes, honestly, coming back from not playing can really actually help you out. New Fly, if you do want to get in the queue, man, there may be time for you. Maybe. But no stress if you just want to watch. Because we do have Ronin, then Pendragon after this, then Tellus. Maybe Crosshunt on console as well if they turn up in time, but it depends. We do still have 40 minutes left, so should be able to get in a few games. Hopefully someone will be able to hold on to their crown. Because so far it's been taken off everyone every single time. Hey, an Italian matchup apparently. Nice, nice. I first talking to these guys actually in my last live stream about pizza. Someone said I had to come and try it out in Rome. I think that might have been Park Map. Not Rome, sorry. In is it Florence or somewhere? Cool. Park Map is going Dark Elves and banning the Wood Elves. So we're going to see some Elf action. Banning Wood Elves. Fairly sensible here. Wood Elves are really good skirmish and can skirmish back quite a lot. I'll play if the stream goes that long. Cool, man. I'll let you know, Noob for Life, if we end up running out of players or whatever, but luckily with these type of things, I literally just have to now... It's very different from when I first started, where I'd have to like advertise a tournament like a week in advance. Now I can just be like, oh, hey guys, I'm thinking I'm going to do a stream in an hour. Who wants to play? And then I get flooded with stuff, so it's really good, because it just allows me to get as many people on as possible. Unfortunately today there is just a time limit, which sucks. Ronin is going to go Empire, nice. Otherwise, normally I would just go on until we get through everyone. I think the last time we went for like 3 hours and 40 minutes. That was a little bit extreme, but I would happily go, 3.5 hours every time on these King of the Hill ones, but today's a bit of a struggle, unfortunately. Ah, my head off. Awake the dragons! No high elves though for you, Luke, I'm afraid. In this matchup. Just the pesky and nasty Dark Elves. Good to see Ronin make his debut though on the channel. I believe he has popped in multiple chats before on stream. I've seen him around quite a bit. But I believe this is his first time playing here. So it's always good to see some new faces. We had Papa Palpatine earlier as well, who played very good. Played very, very good himself. Almost held on to his crown. That game was crazy. The Razordon and Umbral Tide build from A-Move. And that was super close. Super close. Captain Kolos, super fun map. Use it quite a lot in rotation on the tournaments. Has these 2 little bits of raised ground, which allow for a lot of flanking options. It's impassable terrain as well, so also can make some nice fire bases as well if you are that way inclined to fire off the top of them. There's also a lot of trees on the left-hand flank that if your opponent does do that, you can just sneak through the trees and close the gap quite comfortably, which does help. If anyone has any map suggestions, by the way, feel free to shout them out as well. We want high elves. So we have a lot of high elf fans. Emperor, I feel like in the hands of a good player, good in pretty much any matchup, though. Oh, Ronin, masterful spend in there. 0 funds remaining. It's always a good vibe. Looks like Ronin is ready, so just waiting on the current king. As all peasants must. The king has switched sides, though, to the evil Dark Elves. I mean, vampires aren't exactly the good guys, either. Yeah, so what are you guys most excited for, by the way, about Total War Warhammer 3? I put a video the other day of, like, my top 5, like, wish list for stuff to happen. But it'd be interesting to see, you know, what other people are actually excited for and what they're expecting. Park map is ready. Let's get this rocking. By the way, have you checked the replay I've sent where Scourge were no useful? Not yet, bro. Sorry, man. I'm going through, like, so many replays right now. I will get to it, don't worry. I've got a replay from Zeus to go up. I had a really good couple of games in the ECL recently that I was, like, super close games. That I was probably going to put up as well. But I will get through. A0, how's it going, my dude? Praise be to you. 0 builds equal best builds. Damn right they do. It's good to see you, man. I think we've had 0. I'm pretty sure we've had 0 play before in different events. I swear we've had him in like a King of the Hill or like maybe a Come At Me Bro series, which I haven't done for a while, but they were good fun. Right, similar situation to this, but it's just me playing against whoever wants to go. I may do some more of those again at some point. They're pretty good fun. But yeah, as I said before about this map, really nice, fairly well balanced. Some people say this side has an advantage. I was talking to my housemate about it because it's a slightly wider plateau up here. But at the same time, I don't think it makes too much of a difference if you can get a fire base kind of going on top of here. There's still loads of room for maneuverability and flanking attacks. There's also a load of trees for sneaky stabbings. I believe you can also vanguard behind the enemy as well. It's all good fun. We also have some obelisks. These are actually made in my honour. Say put them into the game to worship my horrible amounts of chaos corruption I live in. Cool. So let's have a little look at the current king's army, who's going to be Park Map. So in the front line, it looks like he has gone at cheap and cheerful with some bleak swords, but he has chevroned them up, which can often catch people off guard. They look at them, they're like, oh, bleak swords, I will delete them quite quickly, and then it turns out they actually managed to hold the line for a relatively decent amount of time. We also have the Sisters of Singing Doom, regiment around witch elves who can rampage people, which can be very deadly if they can catch some cav and then force them into people such as this, the Black Guard of Nagarond, anti-large, absolute beasts, immune to psychology and all that good stuff. I believe they're trained from kids or something to war, a bit like the Unsullied, I suppose. So we have Marathi as well, up on top of her fine Pegasus. I'll get to her spells in a second, because it looks like we have a huge cav contingent over on this right-hand flank. Slashers, Harvesters, Regiment Doomfire Warlocks, super common, super competitive pick. Cold One Knights and Cold One Knights as well, so 2 units of those. We have 2 units of Dark Riders repeated crossbows on the left flank, and 2 units of Harpies to escort them. So where is the lovely lady herself? Marathi has brought Deadly Onslaught, of course, Soul Stealer, Melkoff's Mystifying Miasma, Doom and Darkness, and of course her wand. So we'll look at the Pretender trying to become king of the Empire, and Mr. Ronin. So we have up front 1, 2, 3 units, 2 of them Outriders, 1 being Pistoliers. We have a front line of Swordsmen who will get beaten by the Bleak Swords, who have been chevroned up, so a little bit of a dangerous situation for them. We have 2 units of Handgunners as well for some support, and a Great Cannon. We also have Empire Knights on one flank, Demigryphs of Halberds on the other, and some more Empire Knights on the right-hand side. We have a Jade Wizard coming in with Regrowth and Earthblood and a Power Stone, and also Karl Franz himself up on top of Deathclaw, and he is going to be bringing up the Reichland Runefang, but no Garl Mirage today. Some early shots going in. These guys really need to start targeting down, probably Blackguard where possible. Nice cannon shot coming in there, taking out a few models, 5 models in fact. Some early shots as well, shutting down those Harpies. It's going to be interesting to see if they can survive the onslaught of the Empire here. They really want to protect that cannon, do some decent work of it. Demigryph's going to struggle to find too much of a home. They can go toe-to-toe a lot of the cold ones over on this flank. But it's going to be a bit nasty as they are quite heavily outnumbered. But in the front line, I mean, they can just do some shock damage. They don't want to touch the Sisters in case they get rampaged into those Blackguard, however. Nice couple of volleys coming off, but they are just targeting Bleak Swords, which, you know, shielded infantry, nice, cheap and cheerful. I'm sure Park Map's not feeling those stings too heavily. Harpies now swooping in on top of these handgunners. Karl Franz, all these Demigryphs really need to react to this. There we go. They're charging in now, trying to protect the fairly heavy investment of the handgunners. They could be quite key to deleting units like Blackguard, who are going to mulch through this infantry without it. The front line swordsmen have been unfortunately rampaged, and they will get mulched very quickly here. Karl Franz actually retreating from the Harpies. He needs to get in there and do some damage. Looks like the Demigryph Knights are actually going to pop over instead for a bit of support on Karl Franz. Not a bad play here actually, moving into the front line, helping his swordsmen out who were struggling pretty heavily. Getting in there, terror routing, then falling back once more to help this backline situation. Nice play overall there by Ronan. Empire Knights chasing down some repeater crossbows. They're probably not going to be able to catch them, but they can constantly get on top of them and force them away from the main fight. We do have a load of swordsmen not active who need to swoop around, collapse in on these Blackguard and help this main Empire force, but it is a ton of micro at play as we speak, so obviously much easier to commentate and say than do. Handgunners getting an extended Earthblood on them, maybe trying to keep them in the action before some of these cav can go over there and help out. Prefer the Earthblood over here right now, as Empire Knights are really starting to struggle now. Word of Pain has been dropped on the Demigryph Knights. Karl Franz desperate. This is a real desperate situation for Empire. They need to win this fight here. It looks like they are going to have some Pistolier support if he can move them around in time. Swordsman now collapsed in from this right hand flank, trying to shut down. It looks like Sisters of Sim and Doom. They will do some decent damage to those ladies, even if they will lose that fight. More swordsmen return as well. Looks like they were chasing down some bleak swords. Empire have done a decent job at pushing away these Dark Riders so far, keeping them away from his Demigryphs and so forth. Looks like Empire Knights are fleeing. Demigryph Knights, they're getting a regrowth though. So a big Soul Seed did pop down, but regrowth, how many models do they have left? 12. Okay, that's going to be a pretty decent regrowth. Nice shots as well. Overwatch coming in by the Pistoliers here and Outriders into these Cold War Knights, helping swing this combat in favour of the Demigryphs and Mr. Karl Franz. Looks like they are getting chased off though a little bit, and the Empire front line has pretty much crumbled, at least in the centre pocket. Swordsman trying to collapse in on the Sisters to do some damage. These ones perhaps looking to hold off these Blackguard for as long as possible. Empire Knights falling back as well. Looks like a lot of Empire troops are starting to shatter though. Balance of power very, very even. As Karl Franz super healthy, it's going to be an absolute tank to deal with. Rampaging Cold War Knights, really unfortunate for them as they're going to be forced into a fight with these Demigryphs. Empire Knights also rallying in. We do have the Reichman Rune Fang coming down as well, trying to buff their stats. And they should be able to win this engagement by the looks of it, the Empire. Real good job these Demigryph Knights are doing. We do have some Bleak Swords saturated in, but they're not going to be doing too much. Big Mama Marathi popping over here and dropping another Soul Sealer on both these units of Outriders. These guys, still decent amount of ammo, could do a nice little bit of skirmish, and it looks like we do have a Jade Wizard, was just chasing some people off, has come back to the fore. Nice play here. Ooh, a little bit of lag, unfortunately. The swordsman here can just kind of keep these guys at arm's reach, keep them away from the main fight, and push them off. That's all good, and if they waste ammo into them, that's fine. Do you have swordsmen who have done a decent job against the Sisters of Singing Doom here, who down just 21 models and basically no health. Looks like they're still going to probably lose that engagement. We have Empire Knights fleeing as well. But at the same time, it's distracting a lot of the army. Blackguard really need to get into the action. They could be key. If they were rolling around with the Cold War Knights, they could have done a great job on Karl Franz and these Demigryphs. Perhaps he's trying to save them to late game, though, knowing they're going to be very important against these units, and trying to get them in a decent situation. The Demigryphs are running, but Doom and Darkness, not a bad play here, trying to tank their leadership, trying to force them off. I mean, if he could break his leadership now, they would be forced off the field, but they've managed to escape the main combat, and it looks like they'll be fine. Karl Franz going for a duel up in the sky against Marathi here, doing a decent job. She doesn't really want to fight him. He's a much better combatant. He does have Melkov's Misfire Miasma slowing him down right now, but she does have anti-large, so with some help of these repeater bolt throwers, she could really go toe-to-toe with him fairly effectively. Pistoliers currently shooting in at these Harpies, just trying to get rid of them. The Demigryphs do come in and should be able to crumple them pretty quickly, and shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we still have quite a lot of skirmishing potential from the Empire. Over on the left-hand flank, we do have two of swordsmen coming back. Should be able to finish off these Witch Elves. Also, unit of Empire Knights, they'll be coming in there for a nice fat charge on those naked ladies, and they're already down now to 12 models. So that is going to be the death of them. But Marathi coming in, trying to rescue the situation, should be able to tear through some of those Empire Knights very, very effectively. Blackguard have now got engaged in combat, beating down some swordsmen in some slow-mo action here. And these swordsmen are going to struggle a little bit against the elite, especially when you have a rear attack coming from some bleak swords. So really nice play here by Parkmap, coming in from behind, and these swordsmen are not going to enjoy that one bit. But this does give time for all these ranged units to fire in and do their damage to the Dark Riders. The problem is going to be, oh not Dark Riders, sorry, the Blackguard. But the problem is the Dark Riders, who are going to be able to skirmish very effectively against them. I wouldn't even target the Demigryphs right now. I would target these three units, force off that mobility, force off all their range prowess, and then the Daenerys have to come into combat against Blackguard, which is just definitely where they don't want to be. It's like Karl Franz is going to come in and have a word, trying to scare these guys off. And some nice play, bringing Empire Knights into their rear, whilst Karl Franz crashes into the front, trying to do as much damage as possible. That does in fact break one unit, maybe take the cheap and cheerful unit perhaps somewhere. Maybe these Empire Knights will chase them off. They've taken quite a lot of damage, and the other unit is now terrified as well and running for the hills. Karl Franz is going to be an absolute monster to deal with. If the Blackguard gets taken out by these Outriders and Pistoliers, I think it's game over for the Dark Elves. Yes, Bleak Sword's being pushed off over here. Really nice play of these Pistoliers, forcing off these Dark Riders, but they do in fact rally. Pistoliers, you want to get running, I'm afraid. That is quite unfortunate for the Empire. Fortunately, having some lag issues, part Matt was saying his internet was a little bit of a struggle. But it's not been too bad in fairness to him so far. It does look like it's starting to stabilise. Pistoliers shooting some shots at these Blackguard. Perfect opportunity for them to try and get some free damage. Marathi considered going charging against Empire Knights, but she's pretty scared of these Demigryphs, although I would probably take that fight there pretty weak. It's more the problem with Karl Franz coming in, which could be a bit scary. Empire Knights come crashing through the front line. They need to just keep riding through and keep going. They do not want to get pinned on by these Blackguard. And over in the distance, looks like we do have a melee battle going in between the Dark Riders and the Pistoliers, which is going heavily in favour of the Dark Riders there. Looks like Karl Franz trying to scare Marathi away. She's faster though. Looks like he does maybe get one hit in there. Trying to get her off the field and stop her interfering in the battle, because the rest of the battlefield is going fairly well for the Empire. Balance of power going massively in his favour, but another Soul Stealer coming in on top of these Pistoliers and Outriders could really change that. So those guys are very much needed to take out the Blackguard. We do have two more units over here as well though. So Marathi's coming in to try and scare these guys off and finish them off. Demigo's down to just 2 models now because of that magic. We do have a Jade Wizard as well still popping around. That's potentially a lot of healing still for Karl Franz. Swordsman trying to get back into the action. And we do have a big fight on our hands here. Bleak Sword's getting wrecked by some fire from the Outriders from the behind. And the Blackguard are down to 26 models now. Marathi needs some spells in her back pocket here. Needs to have a lot of Winds of Magic, I think, to bring back into this game. Empire Knights, really good counter here to these Dark Riders. Charging into the front. The Dark Rider's going to go down very quickly. But Empire Knights, no, there's not that many of them left. Only 12. Marathi flying overhead. Maybe dropping some debuffs as well on these guys. Doom and Darkness trying to break their leadership. Quite nice use of that spell, which I haven't used too much myself. The Blackguard have finally broken with Karl Franz coming in there. And with that, ooh, I see this going very badly for Marathi, unfortunately. Really close game though. We've had some really great games today so far. And Karl Franz does pop in on top of Marathi, trying to take her on here. She can do some really decent damage back, especially when saturated in with troops like the Dark Riders, but they are starting to flee. There's a regrowth. I would now use it on Karl Franz. He's taken an absolute beating from Marathi here. He's popped Deadly Onslaught. The Nerf Blood does come down on top of Karl Franz. Should keep him juiced up. So not bad effort by Marathi in the end there. But it does look like she is terrified. And that is going to be game. So once more, the king falls. We haven't had a single king yet who's managed to hold on to his crown. So I will double check quick to see if Zeus is back now. But if not, Pendragon will be up, I believe. So overall, 2 super fun builds, just about enough there on the Empire standard point. The cannon did some really nice early damage to that Blackguard. Did get overrun quite quickly a lot of his positions. The centre pocket really fell through, but that range core of the Outriders and Pistoliers, assisted by the Empire Knights and the Demigryphs, managed to win the day there. So a nice win there for the Empire. Gonna go punch the Hedus of Fast Swift now. All the sisters, so flag. No worries, bro. It really doesn't matter about the lag, man. It's cool. The king has fallen, so I'm going to quickly see if Zeus is online. No, he's still not online. Okay, so we're going to move on. Cool. Just going to add you Pendragon. And I believe it is Pendragon up next, I believe. Yes. I think so. Cross on or Console haven't popped up and messaged me yet saying they're back and they're ready to go, so I think we're just going to move on. Cool, Darth Pendragon, I have sent you an invite. Or a friend request at least. And we're probably going to have time for 2 games, I think. Oh, yeah, they brought the cannon just in case there's chatters. Yeah, squadrons are different. Should have gone up to the dark side and taken Scourge Runners. Yeah, it is a little bit of the dark side right now. Cool, so let's change the overhead. Oh, once again, sorry, I keep putting people's names in and then when it switches, I forget to move it around. So we do have Ronin as the current champion. Coming up again. So I'll wait to see what his name is, but for now I think it's Pendragon. Is what it is on Discord. Oh, what's that doing? There we go. Can someone hold on to the crown? That's going to be the really interesting point here. So, Darth Pendragon, there we go. Password is 123, my dude. I want to see those games in the ESL. Man, they were super close. It was against Anticity, who beat me in the previous event. I got quite close. I think I ended up getting to the semi-final as well of that one. I got fairly close. But I met him in the first round this time. I was like, oh god, I'm doomed. But I managed to win 2-0, but it was pretty damn close, to be honest. I was down to like... I won't spoil it, because I will stream both of them, probably. Oh, your game crashed straight away after part map. That sucks. I think I won one of your turnies. Yeah, Zero, I think you probably kicked my ass in a come at me, bro, I think. Yeah, great to have you back, man, though, as well. Are you in the Discord? If you want to be, man, feel free. I can send you an invite again. So you know when the events are coming up and stuff. Cool, looks like Ninja is going to go to bed. No worries. Could you send me the password? Yes, it's 123. Cool. So I think after this we're going to have time just to get one more person in. And we will switch the map as well while I think about it. Let's go. We'll end on Alpine Ridge. That'll be the next one. I'm trying to see if there's any maps I don't use too much, but could be quite cool. Let's go River Maxon. I love that map. I use it all the time, but it's my favourite map, I think. Yo, yo! So I think this is Pendragon making his first appearance on my channel, I believe. Which has been a lot of people today making their first appearance, which is good. Yeah, no one's managed to hold their crown for more than one game, which is pretty surprising so far. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So, after this, I'm just going to double check that I've got my stuff in order. But I think we're going to have Captellus after this, and that'll be the final game. I should have time. What's time? 15 minutes. Ooh, I'll sneak it in. I'll find a way. Cool. He's picking Wood Elves and banning Dowie. Really nice ban there. Although Bretonia. Beastman then. Okay, Darth Pendragon is going Beastman. That's cool. That's also... It's kind of a cinematic affair. Very thematic. These guys fight each other a lot. I think it heavily favours the Beastmen most of the time. They're such a good Swarm faction. I spoke earlier. I think they're probably the best Swarm faction up there with Norska. So Wood Elves can really struggle with their play. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can go for air builds with the Wood Elves. You can go for those heavy tree builds. Really can go any way. Wish you fun. Anyway, welcome to anyone who's new to the channel. I do My Play Battles. We do King of the Hills at the moment quite often, normally about once a week. Do tournaments about once a week as well. And you can get involved. Just message me on Discord. I'll invite you to my Discord, and that's where I post up when the games are going to be played. Next step before Dishonor might be trying to get all the former champions back of the end of Season 2, which I believe is Chosen One, Flying Taco, Noob for Life, and who won the last one? Oh, I can't remember. Who won it? Zeus. I want to say Zeus won it. But there was quite a big gap. I didn't do tournaments for like 2 or 3 months, just because of Christmas, and I was quite ill and stuff. So I didn't have time to organise them as much. So that's if Flying Taco and Chosen want to come back. If not, we'll just move on to Season 3 and have some new people in. I have a really cool thumbnail actually for season 3, made for me by Zeus actually. You guys will get to see that in the future. But if you guys enjoy, feel free to smash that thumbs up button every time you do. A puppy is born into the world. So if you love puppies, you've got to love the videos. Let's make sure no added questions. Looks like we're all good. Cat, tell us, do I have you on Steam? Get that sorted now. If not, send me your Steam number. Oh, you have sent me your Steam number, haven't you? Yes, because you're Michael in the chat. I remember this from before. Yeah. Ready to go, mate? Darth Pendragon is ready. Let's go. So, can the king hold on to his crown, or will he slowly be dragged down? Wild Riders are really nice in this matchup. They're a very good counter to Centaurs. Actually, yeah, Dryads as well do a decent job on Gore Herds, so it's kind of hard to swarm as much. But then Razor Gore Herds can be pretty decent here as well. Very good AP. They can pin in Wild Riders as well and just swarm them. So I think seeing a couple of Razor Gores would be pretty damn clutch. I think that'd be really good. Who knows, maybe even get like a wild, like, we've seen some wild picks today, honestly. The wildest build would definitely be in that Lizardman build in Heat 2, I think it was. Palpatine versus Mr. A move. But we've seen some wild stuff, so maybe we'll see some Cygor action, who knows. Could be pretty good getting those long-range rocks in, but big targets like that, potential for Waywatch is very scary. Yeah, Razor Gores, yeah. I think Razor Gores are really good in this matchup. I think they're a little bit of a must. I just quite like Razor Gores in general. They're a little bit of a meme when the game first came out, I feel, or when like, DLC first came out, but I think people have found use to them. So, River Maxon, which I believe the river is over here somewhere, so completely away from the main battle. But super cool map, big open plain in the middle, so you can fight just nice and simply if you want. There's this nice raised platform on the right-hand side for sneaky stabbing, sneaky flanking, and lots of trees. Also allows you to push up through the middle if your opponent has gone range. So let's go through Darth Pendragon, the Challenger's army here. And as we can see already, 3 units of the Razor Gore herds. Very, very good in this matchup, as we've just discussed. Leadership Court, we have gone for a Bracion of Beast. Definitely getting that Manticore summon, surely. No Manticore summon, very interesting, okay. So he does in fact have the Curse Veneer, pretty good in this matchup. Pan's Impetual Pelt, haven't really seen that used much at all. And Wild Form, pretty good, with a Jagged Dagger as well. We have Morga the Shadowgave, of course, with all his buffs and summons. We have... Ooh, looks like our army has disappeared a little bit. So we also have 2 units of the Ungor Raiders. We have 2 units of Chaos Warhounds with Poison. An absolute bucket ton of Centaurs for a lot of harass and chasing. And a small core of Ungor Herds as well. So, pretty cool build. Yeah, with Gore Herds, Ungor Herds, all that cheap and chill stuff, couple of Spearmen as well in the front line. Now, the Treesmen hiding in the trees, what else my bad, do have 1, 2, 3 units deep with Scouts. Pretty risky, as they don't pack the biggest punch and can be chased down very quickly by Beastmen, but at the same time, they're just cheaper and cheerful Waywatchers, really. We have 2 units of the Glade Riders in the front with Hagbane tips. And then we have a mass of Dryads, who I think are really good in this pick. They do decent up against most of the Beastmen infantry. So front line of those mixed in with some Eternal Guards, some War Dancers, Azrai Spears. Nice to see these guys. I really like the Loic Tricksters as well. Decent anti-large, a little bit squishy, but overall pretty nice. And yeah, got 2 units of those, 2 of the Eternal Guard. We have Big Papa Durf, who we'll get to in a second, and a Branch Wraith. So the Branch Wraith has got Earthblood, so that's just about it. Also a Scroll of Shielding. And we have Durfu, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Sword of Dave, super powerful weapon. Almost a must pick, I feel, with him. Transformation of Godonfo's Manticore summons, which are always just a good bonus, such good value, and Flock of Doom. Interesting, okay. I feel like the Wood Elves might get swarmed a little bit, but we'll have to see how this plays out. So a bit of a Vanguard up on the hill here with the Centaurs and the Hounds, and some early shots coming in by the Scouts. Doing some pretty decent early damage to these Gore Herds. They're going to be really needed, but at the same time, there's just so much pressure coming in from the Beastmen here. Crazy pressure. So the Wood Elf kind of skirmishing court is going to be falling back into the trees a little bit. Of course, Wood Elves do tend to fight better in trees, so dragging the Beastmen into them isn't the worst shout in the world. So very hard to see everything, unfortunately. But Hounds are starting to catch some of these Glade Riders. They're going to be poisoning them down, but Dryads are swiftly moving in here and, yeah, force them back. Nice micro here by the Beastmen and Darth Pendragon. pulling those guys back as quick as possible. And Razor Gores are going to be charging into the front here on top of these Dryads and just doing some really nice shock damage, allowing to break their charge and allowing these Ungor herd then to punch massively above their weight. Early shots coming in as well and tying down the other Dryads. And already, yeah, this is going to be tricky, I think, for the Wood Elves, but they have a massive core over on this right-hand flank, going to collapse inwards. And again, some really nice range firepower done on top of these Centaurs as well. So a bit of give and take so far. And if these ranged troops can really focus down the Razor Gores, it put the Wood Elves in a much more comfortable position. Now, what's this all the way over here? One unit of Centaurs still lurking in the trees, maybe going to be trying to pick off routing units. And Razor Gores have unfortunately gone into Rampage. They do this quite a lot. They've managed to munch on some Dryads, now going to be moving towards this main fight. Now we do have the Sword of Dave coming down, doing damage, and that minus 30 armor, allowing these Eternal Guard to fight toe-to-toe against the Gore Herds and the Razor Gores, but they're struggling still a little bit, not the toughest of fellows. And Chaos Spawn summoned in the back as well, hopping on top of these Deepwood Scouts, who have been slowed down by the curse as well, allowing these spawns to catch them. Now, unfortunately for the Wood Elves, the front line has kind of been punctured, and now we have Centaurs, one unit chasing down 2 units of Deepwood Scouts, and the rest just chasing off these Glade Riders. Poison Hounds to slow them down, Centaurs to kill them. Real unfortunate play up there. That kind of real kind of powerful Scout Corps being scared off at the moment. But Durfu is strong, man. He is tanking these people. An extended Flock of Doom coming down on these Razor Gores as well. Over on the flank, these Dryads need to come over here and help their allies out, crump down on these Ungor Spearheads, or maybe try and go up and around and get on top of these Ungor Raiders. Cool, so we have some rallying units, but nothing too special there. And it's, can Durfu just stand the tide of Razor Gores? If he can pull them all down, these summons will start to disappear. Even though they're doing a pretty good job so far. We do have War Dancers moving up to try and intercept them. In the back, though, unfortunately, Glade Riders have been caught by hounds and just being dragged down, which is really unfortunate. War Dancers don't want to be caught by Chaos Warhounds. They'll probably be able to beat them, but they'll suffer far too much damage in return. They need to pop on top of these Centaurs, or trying to get into this main fight and make a bit of a stand here with Durfu, who's doing such a beastly job, slapping people left and right. Nice Manticore summon as well, doing some huge damage to Morga. Unfortunately, that Manticore is going to be disappearing relatively soon. He's done some really good work there. If he can try and snipe him out with Durfu, this could really change the battle around. If he's got enough Winds of Magic for another Manticore summon after this to finish him off, that will really help Durfu out. Of course, is this horrible, absolute, gigantic Terror-causing beast. If the Beastmen don't have their leadership, they will struggle heavily. Because yes, Razor Gores and whatnot are very good armor piercers. They're a fairly decent answer to Durfu, but they have very poor leadership. Azrai War Dancers, Azrai Spears, hunting down Ungors, not what they want to be really. They need to get into this main fight and help out Papa Durfu, I feel. Who does have the curse of a near pop to him, all these units slowly getting dragged down, and that constant fire from the Ungor Raiders is really starting to become a problem, but they are running out of ammo, and there is now some Glade Riders who have managed to escape their captives over here of the Chaos Warhounds, their pursuers. They should be able to hop on these guys and shut them down. It looks like the Wood Elves are starting to rally fairly effectively here. Some shots coming on those Centaurs as well, trying to keep them away from the main fight. Durfu standing strong around, curse still being popped on him. He is getting down to about 4,000 health, but he's done a fantastic job so far, really helping the Wood Elves kind of stick this fight out after a pretty not disastrous start, but getting a lot of his units forced off and killed. You can see a load of them shattered in the distance right as we speak. Durfu though, going to town, 125 kills, going to be a monster to deal with. Razor Gores, they're fairly beat up here. Looks like Durfu is going over here to start slapping on this Bray Shaman. He'll be able to delete him pretty quickly if this Bray Shaman is trying to get away. I saw the attack order been given to try and get him to the left, but he's been pinned in slightly. Centaur's rallying to try and save him, but he is broken for now. Not too much in the back, though, to actually chase him off. And the War Dancers are rallying to the cause. If they can pin in these Sentinels, this is pretty huge. They can get in behind here. They will do some huge damage to these guys early on. But nice play by Darth Pendragon. Oh no, it looks like we're in fact terrified, which actually helps them here escape a really nasty situation. Morgan the Shadowgave, though, getting very close to enemy. It looks like he was popping in, trying to get that call of violence off. Huge terror out over here, though, caused by Durfu, who is coming in here and now going to start slapping Morga around. He popped in there trying to get that leadership, but is now really trapped in, swarmed by Dryads and Durfu himself. Azrai Spears also rallying to kind of the death blob the Wood Elves are having to form. Loads and loads of fleeing troops, though, could come back and help turn this back around. The balance power swinging heavily in favour of the Wood Elves now. These rallying at Deepwood Scouts, getting some decent damage on the Chaos Warhounds. And come on, Durfu, man. Hold out. Hold out. He's doing bits. The king is standing strong here. Ronan is the king in the woods right now, but a ton of beastmen are starting to rally all across the field. Bounce power does start to tick quite heavily, actually. Quite a few chunks back there towards the middle. He needs to finish off these isolated targets and then try and outrange Durfu and just shoot him to death, basically. Nice centaur play, though, doing some cycle charging on war dancers. Need to be careful, though. Don't want to stick around there too much. As you can see, they do start to lose troops very, very quickly here. But these two units of war dancers are very isolated. Yeah, collapse on these guys, finish them off, drag them away from Durfu. Looks like Morgul Shadowgave, though, is being routed off, but he hasn't shattered yet, and he does have regeneration, so he will keep coming back. Warhounds really need to be used to protect him and allow him to escape and retaliate. Ungol Raiders firing some shots on the Dryads. They need to be doing that at Durfu, but at this point, don't think they have enough ammo. No, the other unit is completely out of ammo. Nice play over here, though. Looks like he may be able to break off the War Dancers. One unit is wavering. But in return, the Brave Shaman is fleeing for the hill, so are some Ungol Raiders. I think this has got to be game, unfortunately. Durfu terror-routing foes left and right here. Really going to force these guys away. Durfu getting a big healthy Earthblood as well, just to top it off. And there's not much the Beastmen can do here, I don't think. We do have some rallying troops. Brave Shaman might have some sneaky tricks up his sleeve, but I don't think any of the spells he's brought are really going to help him out in this situation too much. He can, force all elves into a big blob fight and curse them, but there's really not enough beastmen left. So what do we have all over here? Okay, now Dryads are running. A few running Wood Elf units all across the board. We do have rallying beastmen, but they're so far out now, they're not really going to have time to rally and kind of affect the battle too much. Morgul, really nice play here by Ronan. Really like this play. So any new players out there, take a unit of Glade Riders. They're basically run out of ammo. They're not going to be very effective left in the main battle, but they are fast and they're pretty expendable right now. So just use them to chase off Morgul, who, he's down to 300 health, but he could still return and regenerate and be a very powerful force. And but he has managed to face him off, and the king, the first king to hold the line, has emerged, and it is Ronan. So very well played, very close game though. Really nice effort by Darth Pendragon there. Loving the Razor Gore herds. I think they just got pinned up too much on Durfu early on. He managed to slap them around a bit. They don't have the best leadership, and then they were forced off. But really nice early shock play there. The Deepwood Scouts basically didn't do much at all. Glade Riders kind of made a little comeback at the end, but really nice early play, smashing those guys and pursuing them down. But it may have cost him, as then he committed to the main fight with only half his troops, and unfortunately lost it. Oops, so one more game to go. We are going to get in Capitellus in. And we will be going Alpine Ridge. What's the time? Okay. I'm going to have to go over a tiny bit, but hopefully not too much. Not on for long, but thought I'd say hello. What's up, Briggsy? Nice to see you, my dude. This is the final game, so you have missed quite a bit, but you can always go back and rewatch it whenever you want. We really need to get you involved in some live streams, Briggsy. Get you on board. Sorry, Console, I've seen you popped up and said you actually ready to play, but unfortunately this is going to have to be the last one. Miss Micro almost skirmish, but hey, Durfu carried. Durfu was a beast. Durfu holding that crown out of the reaches and clutches there of Pendragon. But let's quickly update the score. So Ronan, first king today to go up to 2. Is he going to end the stream as king? And let's see, how do we spell his name? I think this is it. Hopefully that is right there. So Capitellus is the last one here to try and come and claim the throne. Cool, we're going to be on Alpine Ridge. So what's your favourite faction? I won't ban it. Cool. Ronan doing some good sportsmanship here. Wanting to do a good game. Kids don't make it easy. I can imagine, bro. It's tough. I don't have kids, luckily. Well, not so unluckily to anyone who wants kids, but I don't have kids at the moment, but it gives me a lot more free time. But unfortunately, work does call tomorrow morning, so I still need to eat dinner and get to bed. I'll have like an hour or two. Cool. Capitalist wants to go Greenskins Empire Tomb King, so Ronin is going Norska and he bans Dowie just because. So we have an absolute vicious engagement coming up between the Greenskins and Norskins, two pretty heavy rush factions. I think Norskins have an advantage here. I mean, they can bring loads of big monsters, which the Greenskins really struggle with, or used to struggle with, but now with the Arachnarok Spider doing anti-large, or at least a bonus versus large, it's a much more even affair. I still think Mammoths are pretty good in this matchup, but we'll have to see. We will have to see how it goes. But thank you all so far for tuning in. This is going to be the last game of the stream. Oh, looks like my chat just froze quickly. It's going to refresh. If you guys wouldn't mind smacking that thumbs up button, lets me know you like this type of content and I can do more in the future. That's how we ended up doing King of the Hill. We just did one, kind of like a one-off, and it was really popular. Loads of people kind of commented on it and stuff, and was just like, yeah, this is great, keep it going. So that's what we've done. I will be trying to do some more campaigns soon as well. I think I missed out my episode this week. Just been a bit busy, but yes, I'm working tomorrow and Sunday, so probably no videos for those 2 days, and then we should be back Monday, and I'm working Tuesday, and then back again on Wednesday, which we'll probably host another tournament on Wednesday. But yes, and if you guys do want to get involved, message me on Discord. My name is Arabic War on all the big major Discords, and I can add you to my own one, get you guys involved, and lets you give like a little head start on when these events are going to take place. Just going to double check everything's all good. Cool. Yeah, we've added Darth and Dragon, Capitellus, and Ronin to the Discord. Sweet. Cool. These guys just signed their armies, and we'll get going. So the only rules in this tournament, of course, are unit caps and the attacking rule, just to make it nice and simple, because we like a lot of getting new players in as well. And it's pretty informal, it's not too serious. Tournaments are a little bit more serious, but again, my tournaments tend to be all good-hearted and mainly, just for fun. Obviously, people want to win, but it's not too serious. So a little bit of drink to get myself ready for this last game. Get myself prepared. So can King Ronin hold his ground? The first king to succeed, to survive more than a day. Will he be able to keep on holding it? Just leveling up, sweet. And will he end the stream with the crown or Whitecap tell us to take place? I believe last stream was far less balanced. We ended up having Noob for Life winning 5 games in a row before getting dismantled by Trioria? No, not Trioria, what's his name? Oh, I've forgotten his name. Oh, that's so bad. How's that? Yeah, that's sick. Let me check my Discord. I don't want to forget his name. As he was the current king. Trioria. Yeah, it was Trioria. Sweet. Trioria then managed to take the crown off him and then hold his ground for another 5. What was that? There we go. Another 5 games as well. It was pretty crazy. Pretty damn crazy. But some really good games. And today we've had some awesome games to play. We've had a lot of new faces playing, which is good to see. A lot of old faces coming back as well. And some returning ones as well from like a long time ago. I don't think we've had a move on the channel for a while, but he brought some really cool builds as well. Always good to see him back and around. So, Alpine Ridge, the OG of OG maps, still around since Rome Total War. Map was very different back then. The entire map was pretty much a hill. But I really like this map. I tend to end tournaments on it and whatnot because it's quite, thematic. These are guys trying to climb the hill, crawl their way up to hold the crown high above. But we do have this big shot blocker in the middle here, which works in the same way as skirmish has actually worked in real life, forcing them out and kind of muddling up your opponent so they can't see your deployment fully. So lots of sneaky deployment can be played here. We also have lots of trees heavily kind of populating this right flank, so lots of sneaky stab-ins, and some on the left flank as well. So do you push the hill? Do you sit back and let your opponent take the hill and try and shoot him off? So many possibilities. Or do you ignore the hill altogether and fight on one of these flanks? Let's go through the Greenskins army of the challenger, Capitellus. What a hero! Front line of goblins. We've got the Warlord Boys, goblins, Night Goblins, goblins, the 8-peak loonies, goblins, gold chevroned for the most part. Looks like a few of them are also silver chevrons. I love doing this with goblins. It's a really cool, cool build. We have goblin archers in the back as well, 4 units, including the rusty arrows, who give that nice corrosion to your armor. How much does it do? Boom. So sunders your armor by 30, which is pretty damn tasty. We have an arachnarok spider, not the queen though, just holding the main line. 3 units of triple gold nasty skulkers. Some forest goblin spider riders. A night goblin shaman. Looks like he's bringing... Is that vindictive glare, sneaky stabbing? Let's see. Sneak stabbing, vindictive glare, itchy nuisance, all the good ones there. Wand of jet and madcap mushrooms. We also have a goblin big boss on spider and a night goblin big boss. What a lad! On top of his little squid pet here. He has just got war and tormentor sword, which is very good. Minus 24 melee attack and cannot move. Super powerful ability there. Really fun goblin themed army there. Excited to see how it works out. Now for the Norskins and the current kin Ronin, the front line of marauders here. So basic marauders, they will do a decent job, though against gold chevron goblins. It's going to be a bit interesting to see how that plays out. Looks like we do have a frostworm, 1 frostworm up in the sky, some skin wolves on the flank, in fact 3 units, 2 on one flank, one of them which is armoured and the one on the other flank. Looks like they're actually moving to the centre now. We also have 2 units of marauder hunter javelins just to deal with that big spider. They'll be very effective there. A couple of units of marauder berserkers, just the standard ones. Norscan warhounds in the back. What's this over the side? Forest commissar, it's nice. And that's about it. Let's see, leadership-wise, we do have Wulfric the Wanderer on top of his mighty mammoth, of course, bringing 100 champions. I thought he hadn't brought it there briefly, but he has brought 100 champions. Sea Fang, which would be very effective as well. Foe Seeker, Rage, all that good sound stuff he has. And where is the wizard? Did I already do the wizard, or have I missed him somewhere? Who's this over here? With some hounds, we're going to pop straight into a fight against Forest Goblin Spider Riders over here. Is there no wizard? That is a very bold move, I think. I feel like wizards are almost always worth picking, just for the value you get out of the Winds of Magic. So instantly a fight is kicking off over on the right-hand side here. Oh, looks like the hounds are actually trying to escape quickly. Captellus a little bit slow on the take there to hunt down Ronin's hounds. There they go, now they're starting to move. As the Norskins and Greenskins both attempt to move up into this main engagement. I do fear a little bit for the Greenskins, but they may get run over by the big monsters on these poor little goblins. The Arachnarok Spider's got a lot to deal with, a ton of Skin Wolves, plus Wulfric the Wanderer. Some more Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be lurking around the back though, probably trying to hop on top of these javelins. How did that other fight end? Looks like the hounds might get caught by the spiders. Skulkers trying to push up to get more flanking position. And now the war is popped. These goblins are all of a sudden rocking a heavy 44 melee attack, 31 melee defense. Pretty decent stats overall with this popped, but the marauders are pretty beastly in combat. Wherever the archers are firing, the goblins seem to be winning. Where they're not firing, they do seem to be struggling. They are fighting uphill slightly as well. Although the Night Goblin Fanatics are tearing apart marauders in the centre here, doing a decent job, but Wulfric is crumped on one side here, got his Skin Wolves in there as well, and just stomped the right-hand flank of the goblins. So Spider Rider's going to be popping up here, hunting down javelins, which is a really nice pick, and lots of shots going up into the Frostworm. Looks like those Norscan Wolfhounds were forced off by the Wolf Riders, and okay, Narcissus Skulkers are going around the back as well, probably trying to shut down those javelins. Front line gone fairly well for the goblins, managed to shatter most of the marauders off, or not shattering them, routing them, sorry. But Wulfric is now rampant in the back lines. Getting shot down, got Goblin Archers and Rusty Arrows doing a decent job, and all the damage you can do is, just more damage the better. He doesn't have any weight of healing, but there is also 2 units of Skin Wolves roaming the back lines, which could spell disaster for a lot of these guys here. There's a big breath attack coming down onto these goblins as well. Vintage Glare, unfortunately, completely missing Wulfric. Really bad aim by that goblin there. Madcap Mushrooms, though, have been popped, so you can probably fire it again. Nasty Skulkers coming in. They'll be really key in this back line to try and save it from all the big nasties. Goblins winning the front line. The Silver Chevron's kind of struggling against Marauders, but the rest of the way, they've even managed to beat off some Berserkers using the Arachnarok Spider there to help out. The Goblin Leadership Corps as well, roaming around, helping break these Berserkers and Marauders on the right-hand flank. In the back lines, we do have some Goblin Spider Riders starting to shut down these Marauder Hunters, and these nice Skulls can go over here and help them as well up against the Skin Wolves, who will no doubt retaliate. So Arachnarok Spider's trying to hunt down Wulfric. Pretty good pick there again. And let's see, Frostworm, sorry, popping over. Probably going to try and 2v1 Wulfric the Wanderer, but I feel like there's going to be some really nice playing coming in here from Captellus. Probably going to drop a Tormentor Sword and then get the Arachnarok Spider out of here once that Frostworm does drop in. So we have lots of rallying goblin archers, spiders and stuff who need to come back to the main fray. Also there's goblin shaman to get in there and do some damage. So let's see if this works. Frostworm does pop in on top of the Arachnarok spider. He's trying to 2v1 it with the mammoth right now. Is he going to pop the torment sword, lock these guys in place and escape it? I think he's got to. Otherwise that Arachnarok spider is really going to get 2v1 and kind of slammed. Yes, it's anti-large, but it can't 2v1 these guys, including some skin wolves in there as well. He really needs to pop it. I'm not sure if he's noticed or if he's going to be able to. In the back line, it looks like Javelins have managed to rally and doing some decent work on those nasty skulkers and really helping the returning marauders hunt down the rest of the goblin horde. Maybe keeping one unit of forest goblin spider riders in the back would have been really key to chase down routing units. After that initial punch from the goblins was really good, but all those marauders just came back, the war wore off, and now they're really starting to struggle quite heavily, it seems. Also, archer fire coming towards the Wanderer. There was a smoke bomb dropped, slowing those guys down, but Skin Wolves have managed to break the Arachnarok spider with the help of the Frostworm, and that is really key, as that was their main tool to deal with Wulfric the Wanderer. But if they can shoot him down with Durusty arrows and some more goblin archery as well, you can see how wild their shots are. A lot of them missing, but some hit him. And we've got some nasty skulkers as well, shanking him down. If they can break the Norscan leadership, War is popped as well once again. Maybe they have a chance. So the Goblin Big Boss and the Night Goblin Big Boss trying to shut down the Frostworm. So they're actually trying to rescue the Arachnarok spider now from the Skin Wolves, but it doesn't look likely that it's going to happen. We have some out-of-control berserkers pushing down into the engagement as well. Vindictive Glare once again missing from the Night Goblin. Really unfortunate stuff. He's missed, I think, 2 Vindictive Glares, which Wulfric's only got 3,000 health. That could have been really key, but it looks like most of the Goblin army is starting to break. But maybe we'll see a resurgence like we did with the Marauders. Unfortunately, Night Goblin Big Boss taking a lot of javelins to the face now, and I feel like he's going to take a big, fat, healthy breath attack. But the Tormentor Sword dropped in. Very nice play. Good time to get the Night Goblin Big Boss out of there. Maybe leave the Nasty Skulkers just to prison shank some Skin Wolves. In fact, it looks like he just popped it for the debuff there instead of rather trying to escape. But Wulfric is on his way now. So lots of these Night Goblin Fanatics and stuff come down. We do have a boat coming in, the Sea Fang. Just coming through those Night Goblin Archers, trying to shatter them off, doing a little bit of damage. Not too many good targets left for them. More Berserkers, so they will get shot by the Rusty Arrows, but they really need it over here. Unfortunately for that Night Goblin Big Boss, he does have 100 chambers popped on him, slowing him down, making him very susceptible as well. Probably should have saved his Tormentor Sword for a situation like this so he can escape. He's trying to hop, he's trying to bounce, and looks like he may get... Oh no, he's been completely shattered, okay. I thought he may get away there, but I think that is going to be game. Unfortunately, I think Captellus, after a really valiant effort with the full Goblin build, nearly worked. He's done so much damage to this Norscan army, but I think Wulfric's going to just about carry the day. The combination of the Frostworm and Wulfric and those Skin Wolves really managed to carry. The infantry got hammered pretty bad early on. The Skin Wolves managed to surround the Arachnarok spider. There was just not enough support for it. It was always going to be tough dealing with that many Skin Wolves plus Wulfric plus a very mobile Frostworm. But yeah, it's going to be simply a matter now of Wulfric chasing off these troops. Frostworm munching on some Forest Goblin Spider Riders where he can, and there's just nothing the Goblins can do in this situation. They have 2 units of Triple Gold Chevron Nasty Skulkers. They're hanging around. They could do some pretty good prison shanking, maybe try and avenge their fallen leader. They could together probably take down Wulfric, but they're not really going to get an opportunity where they have the ability to do that. We do have some rallying Goblins here. A couple of beat up units of just Goblins and Goblin Archers, but as soon as Wulfric comes near, or even this Frostworm, they are probably just going to end up breaking and running. The balance of power is that bad, unfortunately, for the Goblins. Some rallying Spider Riders over here, maybe get some Psychic Charging going, but yeah, Wulfric's not going to allow these guys to rally. He's going to force off all the archers. It looks like balance of power has tipped it into army losses, and the last stand of the Nasty Skulkers, unfortunately, they just touch into combat, but facing the fearsome, ferocious threat of the Marauders, they do turn tails and flee. So that's going to be the final game, and that was another awesome game with some crazy builds. Really love Captellus's all-goblin build here, very thematic, and it nearly worked. Those hardcore goblins, chevroned up with the war, hammered that Marauder front line, but he committed his Forest Goblin Spider Riders to try and hunt down the Javelins, which was a good idea, because he needed to protect that Arachnarok Spider, but then he had nothing to chase these guys off, and they just kept coming back for more action and slowly ground through the Goblins, who, you know, not the most resistant of fellows, unfortunately. Very good overall. My poor goblins! My poor goblins! They did so good. They did so good. So again, a big well done to Ronan, who is king. With 3 wins. Goblins versus Mammoths. Yeah, that was the solution there, really. So we're going to up Ronan there to 3. And that is going to be it for this stream. Pretty damn good. Nice to see the competitors. So massive shout out to all the competitors who played today. We had Ninja, Papa Palpatine, A-Move Hacker, Park Map, Ronin, Pendragon, and Captellus as well. So apologies as well for not being able to fit everyone in. I really wanted to get Consular Roman Croissant as well and try and get Zeus back in when he came online. But unfortunately, I just do not have time today. We did manage to run over a little bit, so I'm going to have to bounce. But if you have any questions, quickly ask now. But I think we're probably going to be shutting down and being all good. Thanks for listening, Carson. I'll watch the full video later tonight. Probably no worries, Renan. When you get to this point, congratulations. Imaginary high five from me. And I will see you next time. Definitely want to see you in future events. What a champion. Cool. So I'm going to leave there. And I think if that is everything, I'll check chat quickly once my game shuts down. Oh, otherwise that's going to make the screen go completely black for you guys, isn't it? So, oh no! Poison Ducky, you've just arrived! Oh no! So no, it will be fully uploaded. So no worries, guys. My pleasure running the stream. And until next time, guys, peace, and stay awesome. Before I go, Poison Ducky, who's just got here, does have a YouTube channel. Definitely go check it out. Sorry, guys, really got to bounce. Peace.